Hello, hi, my name is Zoe. I'm the Tipsy Psychic, and today we're going to do a pick a card reading for your love life in November. So for those of you who don't know how this works, basically you're going to pick one of these three options, group number 1, group number 2, and group number 3. And you're going to listen to your intuition. You can pause the video if you need to, and decide which group you are most drawn to and which one your divine intuition is telling you to pick. And then I'm going to use that group, that card group, in order to give you a reading based on the information that I get through it. You can also use the crystals or gems on top to focus your intuition and create a more of a focal point. Once you've chosen your group, then you can go to the timestamps. I've listed them below and skip right to your reading. Please remember, this is a general reading, so not everything will speak to you, not everything will make sense to you because it's meant for a variety of people. But if you're listening to this and you've chosen with your intuition, there are definitely messages that the cards are giving to you that are meant for you to hear. So make sure you stay tuned till the end of your reading. And don't forget that it's just going to be about really trusting your intuition and your inner wisdom and what the cards have to say. And remember, your intuition might be telling you there are 2 decks that resonate with you, and then it doesn't hurt to actually look at both of them, and there might be information coming from both of them that might stand out to you. Please keep in mind that I have had this terrible cold for a while, and so my voice has been a little off. So if you hear that in my voice, I apologize. I had to stop quite a few times to drink some hot tea and kind of nurture my energy and heal a little bit, because I'm a firm believer in not pushing yourself too hard and protecting your energy and your vibes. So just a heads up about that if you hear me squeaking. But yeah, hopefully this was accurate for you and I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to your reading, group number 1. If you have chosen this beautiful deck and you have chosen this beautiful rose quartz, then this reading is yours. Make sure it's all mixed up so that all the cards are ready for you and the ones that will speak to you will pop out. All right, so let's start with a basic kind of overall of your energy. This will give you a good read of what this is going to be about. Okay, so what I'm automatically getting here is kind of like your dreams are kind of taken from you. They're stolen. It's almost like somebody is almost like sabotaging your fairy tale, your happily ever after. And we're going to look at who this is or what this could be. But I'm getting this kind of vibe of you will have this fantasy and that fantasy is kind of broken and reality is kind of hitting this month. I'm just seeing reality kind of hitting. I'm seeing that you know, with the 9 of Cups, we have the Wish card. A lot of people call it the Wish card. I call it the Wish card. And it's almost like, be careful what you wish for, right? Because we have these dreams and we don't actually think about the consequences of those dreams. We have all these fantasies. And this is saying there's going to be kind of a wake-up call this month for you. It's kind of going to be about realizing reality, realizing that your fairy tale is not necessarily what you thought it was. That's not always a bad thing. Sometimes reality is very important for us. We need to be grounded and practical and not super carried away and absorbed in our own fantasies. You know, I love believing in something higher and believing in something bigger and beautiful, but I'm sensing that this is going to be a time where you're really going to have to kind of figure out what's true. Like there's almost like this clarity coming through, you know, and we have the 7 of Swords. The 7 of Swords is a very mental card as well, and often that has to do with perception. And I'm just sensing this kind of your perception shifting, like a very strong shift in perception. it could be, for example, we're going to look deeper, but it could be that I'm sensing that there's somebody, for example, that you thought was like perfect, or maybe you have this kind of fantasy, and there's sort of this, the veil is lifted. You know, I'm just sensing this kind of reality check within your life in general. That's the overall energy. So I'm also sensing that a lot of that has to do with the need to escape, okay? So the Four of Cups is definitely about emotion, but it's kind of like often we find it when we are trying to numb out, or we're trying to escape. We're trying to distract ourselves from reality. And in this case, it makes a lot of sense. I'm sensing that you're not really focusing on the truth or what's going on. I'm seeing that you're really focusing on a distraction. It's almost like you're trying to escape, and you're not able to really kind of ground your thoughts and ground your energy. You don't want to face them. I'm seeing that people are kind of offering you a lot of emotion, but it's very hard for you to process that this month. And that's going to be very important for you, because it's going to be about exploring like what is distracting you, why you feel this need to escape, and why you need to feel like, you know, you're stuck in this kind of fairy tale. Like your friends and family might be telling you like, hello, like wake up, like this person may not be, you know, who you think they are. It doesn't mean that they're bad, okay? But it could mean that they're not who you think that they are. And it's much more important for you to get down from your high horse and see things, see the truth of things, and stop trying to distract yourself. A lot of the time when we're going through some kind of pain, and we're going to look at why you feel these distractions, why you feel the need to wander or meander. If you're in a relationship, this could be you feeling like you need more out of it, and you need more excitement, and you're kind of like trying to distract yourself or detach yourself from that. And so let's look at this further. And I know this doesn't sound great, but I feel like reality in a wake-up call is sometimes exactly what we need to be happy. I apologize for if this isn't very straight here. I'm kind of figuring out the setup. Okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have some very strong shifting kind of energy. Okay. So this is so interesting. We have the Sun, the Tower, and the Knight of Swords. So the Sun, you know, on a surface level, it's like joy. It's like happiness, you know, sunshine, positivity, inner child work. But I am seeing that all of that is kind of like, yes, this really makes sense with the wake-up call. You know, I'm seeing this kind of creative side, this inner child, things are look and seem so beautiful. And then we have the Tower where things just crumble down. And sometimes we need this kind of thing. You know, we need to kind of surrender to the fact that not everything is in our control. Not everything is perfect. This could be a very perfectionist kind of reading, like somebody who has this kind of ideal of what they want, or they can get carried away with their dreams and their hopes. And then you realize that not everything is as it seems. Things are changing around you, and it's kind of like, okay, when are you going to realize the ship is sinking, and when are you going to like grab a raft so you can, you know, make it to land? Like, it's not saying you're not going to make it to land or you're not going to survive. This is saying that you have to be very wary, because the more you distract yourself and the more you try to kind of focus on, you know, other things and get lost in that kind of feeling, I'm sensing that these are very contrasting energies, you know? It's very similar here. I'm just seeing you kind of starting out where things might seem really beautiful, things might look really great, but if you do not kind of wake up, I'm sensing this kind of rude awakening. You know, I'm sensing things it will wake up for you. Life will wake you up if you don't do it yourself. So the question is, who is going to do that? Okay. So I'm seeing just things kind of really coming into perspective, things really becoming real. And sometimes that means things can be messy, things can be complicated. We have the Knight of Swords here. And I'm seeing this could definitely represent somebody coming into your life, somebody in your life, and you realize that they are not that person for you, or you realize that there is more to them than you realize. Like you're seeing another side of them, maybe. You're seeing this kind of, maybe their aggression is coming out, maybe they're becoming more assertive. Maybe you just see this thing that all your friends and family see, for example. This is just an example, but they could see this side and they're like, hello, why can't you see this? And you're like, I was like so, in this fantasy, I was so swept up in it. And this could also be like you have a crush on someone and you're realizing once you get to know them that there's a lot more to it. There's a lot of chaos that comes out of it. And it's just not going to be as simple as just living a dream and living in your fantasies. So this is kind of like a wake-up call this month. And I'm sensing that things can be so beautiful, okay? Things can be so lovely. But this is a reminder that sometimes life just wants to fuck with us. Sometimes life just wants to like come in and just shake things up. And sometimes we just have to realize that. Like we have to go with that. The Knight of Swords is also you kind of becoming this assertive person, and it's really important for you not to grow bitter, because sometimes when people are, very caught up in their fantasies, things are going really well, and then shit happens, like suddenly they become angry, they become like, it just brings out kind of this ugly side. And this is a really good reminder of not doing that. It's more about facing reality, grounding yourself. I want to look a little bit more at this. So we've got the King of Cups. Okay. We've got the Queen of Rods. And we have the Knight of Cups. Oh my God, look at all these people, okay? So when I have this many people in a reading, I know that there's going to be a lot of players involved in the game. And by players, I don't mean like playa, like fuck boy or fuck girl or whatever. I am saying like these are just people in your life, and they could be romantic interests. So let's look at this. I am seeing you really actually being more in charge of your heart. I'm seeing with the King of Cups, the King of Cups is like the ruler of the heart, okay? Their empire is the heart. And I'm seeing you are all about love. I'm seeing you also being like a really good partner. I'm seeing you kind of at a place in your life where maybe you're finally like the partner that you've always wanted to be. And you're trying to attract someone who is that partner. The Queen of Rods is so beautiful because it's almost like, so I'm sensing this other person in your life. Like I said, there's the Knight of Swords, but I'm also sensing somebody else. And they could be, like I said, people are complicated. People are multifaceted. They're not just like dreams or perfect, okay? But I am sensing there's a different energy in your life. The Queen of Rods is somebody who is just so like, it's almost like they're driven, but they're manifesting things in more of a feminine way, less of a like inner masculine way. And by that, I mean, their energy is more passive, but they're like a spitfire. I'm sensing that they're kind of like a firecracker. And when I'm seeing, king and queen, that has nothing to do with gender, okay? This could be, any gender, okay? Or non-gender, whatever you identify as, or, whatever your sexuality is. We just have this kind of person in your life that I'm seeing that lights you up. I'm seeing this person being, I'm going to look more deeply into this person, but I'm seeing this person really lighting you up. Somebody who's kind of an inspiration to you, someone who motivates you and who seems so, I don't know, they're just so into you. And I'm sensing that they're also somebody who's at a point in their life where they kind of know what they want. I'm just sensing this kind of, you kind of have this beautiful balance. So if you're in a relationship, I'm seeing something like really beautiful, blossoming and growing, but it's all going to be about how grounded you are and how real you are. And, you know, if you're trying to, this is often like when somebody is like getting married or they really want to get married, right? And they're kind of like, when are we going to get married? But they're actually not, it's more like the idea of marriage that is important to them. It's more like the idea that of commitment, of leveling up, whereas you might not actually be, you know, it's more like that fantasy, you know, like that fairy tale. Like, so I'm just sensing this kind of energy of there's this balance, but also this needing to realize that you may not be in a part of your life where, you know, things are ready for that kind of wake-up call. That's just an example, okay? Like, I'm sensing there's this kind of ideal or maybe this intent. One of you is very driven, and often the Queen of Rods is like very driven. You know, Rods or Wands in other tarot decks is fire. And if you hear my cats meowing in the background, I don't know if you can, but if you hear them, yeah, I'm sorry. They are just like very playful right now and they're running around. I'm sensing that you are looking for Prince Charming or Princess. I'm just seeing you having this kind of like, you want more romance, you want, you know, love. And the Knight of Cups is like, they are emotional, like they are sensitive. You want that in a partner. You want someone who's more, maybe more empathetic, more compassionate. You know, the Knight of Cups is really just like, it's like that person that is so, you know, creative, like, and just loving, and they really want to give you your heart and often wear their heart in their sleeve. And that's something that a lot of people really crave, but so many of us are not balanced with our energy that we don't really have that. And often we don't offer that ourselves in a relationship. I hope you guys can see. So I'm just sensing like you are in a way, you also have a lot of space for love. You're holding space for love in your life. And there's a lot of support. So I'm just sensing something really beautiful, but also like this kind of wake up call, this need to face the truth, this face reality and kind of become a warrior of the truth, right? So that's where I'm at here. So I hope this makes sense. This is kind of an overall read of your energy when it comes to love, especially. So overall, what I'm sensing is that you're going to have to make some sacrifices, you know? It's not going to be easy. But I am also sensing that somebody is maybe not giving you the time of day. There's like two energies. It's so interesting. You might feel like you're already in a relationship and there's this person who comes in and kind of just lights you up and almost kind of like shows you the way. But I am seeing this kind of balanced, you know, feminine, masculine, like kind of energy. And, you know, inner feminine, inner masculine. It's not the same as femininity and masculinity, okay? Masculine energy is like the doing energy. It's the need to do, to act, be productive, to like, it's like the driven energy. Whereas feminine energy is more intuitive. It's softer, it's slow, it's sensitive, it's emotional, and it's expressive, and it's collaborative. And so I'm just seeing this kind of beautiful balance, and we all have masculine and feminine energy within us, okay? It's like in other cultures, we call it the yin and the yang, or the Shakti energy, you know. So I just want to really acknowledge that here. It's interesting because I'm seeing a lot of your perception hanging in the balance of your relationship. Obviously, things are going to kind of have to shed and fall apart to see clearly. But I'm sensing also that there's kind of this period of limbo. It's very related to this Four of Cups card. And often this card comes up when somebody is kind of dragging you along and you don't realize it. Like maybe you're putting in a lot, you're seeing more to it than there really is. So there's kind of these vibes here. And as you can see, I've gotten a lot of different messages. You know, I'm seeing this kind of balanced relationship that, you know, you're going to have to really see clearly. And this kind of, also this kind of energy of fantasizing and wanting your, you know, true love and wanting this kind of energy. And in these placements, a lot of the stuff that has to do with you is all cups, which is really interesting. And it's showing me that emotion is a big deal for you. This is probably somebody who's very empathic, somebody who, you know, cares so much and who just wants their dreams to come true. I mean, who doesn't, right? But you have to be careful what you wish for. So that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. And these are extremely potent cards, right? Like they're major arcana cards, and those are very transformative cards. They're very like important cards in a tarot deck. They're all important, but these energies are very big, and they're archetypal energies that really represent a lot of different types of moments in our lives and different periods as well. So what I'm also sensing this means is that this isn't going to happen like overnight. I'm not seeing like everything like just fucking up overnight. Sorry, excuse my French. Actually, not sorry. I cuss all the time, so I'm just gonna roll with that. But I am seeing that this is going to really make a difference for you. Okay. Like, but it's going to happen gradually. I'm seeing it happening little by little. And before you know it, like things have just changed. So you'll probably get things piece by piece. I'm not sensing this things aren't going to change overnight. Okay. But this is going to be kind of a gradual realization that not everything is this fantasy. Not everything is what they seem, and sometimes that is exactly what you need to make your relationship work. Let's take a look at all of this. I want to kind of focus on relationships, but I'm also going to talk about if you're single and you're looking for love. Shuffle the cards. Okay. So let's look at relationships. Now, this is kind of like a love connection. This is for those of you who are already interested in someone or you're in a relationship. We'll go into the single life as well and kind of what you can expect. If you are single, this could represent somebody that you're interested in or somebody that you're going to meet. So I want to look at these energies. Okay, we have Temperance and the Moon. Okay, so I am seeing, first of all, major arcana cards. Okay, I'm seeing someone who's very patient. Somebody who is going to be very kind of healing. I'm sensing a very healing energy. It also, I'm going to look a little bit further to clarify, but I'm sensing somebody who is kind of just like really like in the moment and really kind of healing. I'm sensing this really healing energy. And I'm just sensing that this relationship, you're kind of the partner who is really kind of focused on, you could be literally focused on health, but I'm sensing that you're somebody who's much more intuitive, someone who's more in touch with their feelings, and someone who is seeking balance. Like there's kind of this thriving for balance, okay? This kind of beautiful, flowy energy. We have the moon. The moon represents like illusions, okay? It means that not everything is what it seems, which is exactly what the message was before, right? This person is not revealing everything. it doesn't mean they're cheating on you or they're a liar necessarily. But the Page of Swords is telling me that there is something that they are not telling you, something that, you know, they haven't really been showing you. Perhaps so far you feel like things are going so smoothly. This is like that couple that might wait a really long time to fight. Like you don't fight or things are going so well, and that's because somebody's kind of holding back. And they're not necessarily, I'm trying to turn this way. They're not necessarily as open and expressive about their feelings, or, you know, they're not being completely honest. And you might only be seeing one side of them, which makes a lot of sense for the energy that I'm sensing. So you might notice little things come up that you just didn't understand about them before. They may not be as mature as well about their emotions. They're not afraid to also get dirty. Like I'm sensing this kind of like, they're not afraid to just do things even if it's not proper. I'm sensing there's just this kind of protective shield around them to the point where they're not afraid to get their hands dirty. And I'm sensing that they have like just this ability to maybe skirt around things with words almost. So we have the Page of Swords, and the page, you know, can also be a harbinger of news, right? In the olden days, you sent the page was the messenger. And I'm seeing them kind of being the one who can be kind of opinionated, at times maybe petty. And I'm seeing that kind of, there are little things, maybe even little red flags almost, that you have to work through. And I'm seeing that they're not being as open with you. And that's because they probably have some shit they're dealing with. So let's look a little bit deeper into that. I definitely want to look into that. There is just this kind of mysterious energy about this person. Like there's definitely kind of a red flag I'm sensing. Like there's something coming up that you're like, it's causing some doubt. And other people might see it more than you do. You're just seeking a lot of balance. There's a lot of healing energy. And there's also this need to help. You know, I'm sensing this need to kind of heal this person who isn't as open with you as you would like, okay? So I'm not saying necessarily this person's a bad person, but I'm saying that they aren't being as honest with you. And I'm sensing that they aren't being as open and transparent. And they might be putting on kind of a front. We had the Hangman energy, which could mean also that they might be leading you on. And like I said, this might mean you, it could mean them, but I'm going to refer to this side as you. But if this resonates more with you, then by all means kind of use that. You might actually resonate with both of them. And in that case, just roll with that as well. And it might actually be talking about two sides of yourself. But mirror spreads are really helpful when it comes to learning about what's going on with the other person or the other side of the equation. So we have the Two of Wands, which is telling me there's going to be a major part of you that's going to have to make a decision. One side is going to be what makes sense, okay? Like your mind, your thoughts, like, does it make sense for me to be with this person? Does it make sense what's happening? And the other side is going to be your intuition and your instincts. And I got to tell you, a lot of times we ignore our intuition, we ignore our inner knowing, our inner wisdom, and a lot of the times we know what we need to do deep down, but we don't do it because we're so focused on what makes sense and the logical side of things and how well things could work and the fantasy. And remember, this is about your fantasy, right? This is about the wake-up call. So you need to look at these hints that are coming your way, these signs from the universe, and you need to kind of like figure out whether this person makes you feel balanced, and you need to check in with your energy. And you have to decide, are you going to trust your instincts or are you going to trust your mind? I am sensing that you're in this phase, like you were the King of Cups, okay? So I'm sensing like you're in this phase in your life where you're holding space for love, for you have such a big heart. You know, I feel like people mistake the heart, like following your heart, for following your intuition, because emotions are deeply connected to your intuition and spirituality. You know, one thing that might help you is to go on to check out your human design. I have a video on that if you want to look at that, but there's something called an inner authority that tells you kind of how you decide on things and how you move forward. So I'm a splenic authority. My way of kind of processing things is by really trusting my instincts in the moment. A lot of people are emotional authority, and they need to kind of go through the waves of their emotions before they can make a good decision. So I'm just sensing this kind of need to find balance, need to really trust the universe, but also trust your own inner power and your own inner knowing. I'm not saying this person is a bad person, but they do have to be honest with you. They do have to, they're not fully integrated, okay? I'm seeing you being much more in a place where you can kind of open your heart. And honestly, you deserve someone who's also open. But I want to also look at this Queen of Rods that we saw, or Wands. Actually, let's put this here. All right, so what's really interesting is we often confuse what we want and what we need, okay? So I'm sensing that that is going to be really important here. So I'm just seeing you feeling like you really want this kind of stability. You want things to be safe, and you want to hold on tight to what you have. And so often when we're so holding on to something we have, you know, it's very hard for us to let go and to handle when things go a little nuts, all right? I am also sensing on their end that they want to appear. It's almost like they're trying to be this person for you, like be the perfect person. A lot of the time we have this kind of pressure where we want to be that person that our partner wants us to be. And I'm sensing they want to kind of seem like they have their shit together. It's almost like they want to be recognized for what they're going through. This person might be putting on this facade, right? With the moon, we see this person wanting to kind of, not pretend, but wanting to just be like, put their feelings aside and be that perfect person, or kind of be on a pedestal. They want to be your fantasy. Like, it's almost like there's this pressure, and we often see this a lot in like masculine, like toxic masculinity. And I'm not saying that's what this is, it could be, but where we see somebody wanting to put aside their feelings and not cry. There's this message that they aren't allowed to be vulnerable or show certain sides of themselves because it's just not attractive, or it's not what, you know, men do, right? In a lot of the way we've been brought up in our society. But they also want just to be celebrated. They want to be proud. It's almost like they want to be proud of being with you. It's interesting. I'm sensing this kind of need to be proud, this pride, and this kind of energy of like, I want people to see me for the things that I'm doing, I've achieved, not necessarily for who I am. You know, I'm sensing that they want to project this image. Okay, so we already have 2 pages. Very, very special. Okay. I'm sensing kind of a mentor energy. I'm sensing this role model energy, like this kind of, I need to show off. They need to kind of humble themselves too. There's kind of this wake up call as well for them where they need to realize that they're not as put together and driven as they think that they are. This often happens when someone has like a chip on their shoulder, or they rant and they boast and they realize like they're not actually as established as they think they are. And so they kind of need to humble themselves. They need to kind of step down from their high horse, okay? I love how there's a horse here. And there's nothing wrong with wanting stability. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be on top of things and take charge, right? You know, with the ace, we have this potential, this possibility. And I'm seeing this like really strong potential to open your heart and to let your tears out. I'm seeing this need to express yourself. Don't be afraid to like be open and stop trying to kind of keep this perfect or this fantasy alive. And I'm also sensing that you need to give yourself love. Like you're relying a lot on another person, and you need to also be able to give yourself love and not like get so lost up in this fantasy. The Ace of Cups also represents somebody new. You know, it could mean that that Queen of Rods is here for you, okay? I'm sensing that this could be somebody new in your life, somebody amazing coming in and just sweeping you away. And I want to bring a rune into this. I've got my bag of runes here because I want to find more of a connection here. Oh my God. Okay. So Laguz here is very powerful. Okay. Because Laguz has a lot to do with intuition. It has to do with emotion, and it's so tied to temperance and a lot of the water cards, or the, you know, cups, because cups is water. And it's also very healing. It's a very healing, kind of flowy, inner feminine energy. It's very tied to the temperance. And this person is much less focused on the emotional matters. Like I said, they're kind of maybe out of touch with their emotions, with reality, with the truth. This is somebody who might claim to be very honest, but at the end of the day, there's a lot they're holding back, okay? And so it can make them kind of hypocritical. If you feel like, no, I'm in a great relationship and my person's being super honest with me, this could just be an indicator that this person needs to open up more. Like they have some stuff they are not saying, and it could be causing some resentment. It could be causing, like, they don't feel maybe that they can fully open up to you because maybe you have this idea of things and they want to be such a good partner. Like, I'm just seeing this kind of energy, okay? And I'm also going to actually look at a little bit here. Okay. So Wunyo is the pleasure rune, okay? It's like joy rune. And we know that when we get it, things are so beautiful and amazing. But when it's reversed, it's kind of like the opposite. And it means that there is a lack of pleasure. There is a lack of love a lot of the time that is causing a disconnect. So I think this is really important to look at, that there is something emotionally that might be off a little bit, okay? So we know also that this person is probably a Leo, or I'm getting a lot of Venus energy, Venetian energy. So Taurus, Libra. You could also look at where Venus is in their birth chart or your birth chart and kind of get a feel of what that is. So for example, my Venus is in Aries, so that is something to look at as well. Actually, Aries is also a very powerful message that's coming through, and Mars energy as well. So wherever your Mars is in your chart could really be a huge part of this. Also, Saturn energy. So I'm getting Capricorn. Yeah, so we have a lot of different energies here. Wherever Saturn is, you know that is also going to play a part. Not every one of you will have access to the person's chart and whatever. But yeah, I'm getting some Leo vibes, Aries, Taurus, Libra, and also Capricorn. So I hope that resonates with you. And I think that Saturn energy is coming out here because it creates kind of limitations. Kind of go back to the beginning as well. I'm sensing this need to kind of start fresh. You might want to revisit how you first met, you know, like go back to the drawing board. If you're in a long-term relationship and you're struggling, like a good idea is for you to kind of rekindle your love by going back to square one. But either way, you're going to have to make a decision. Because just because something is supposedly a red flag doesn't mean it's a red flag for you. Remember that, okay? I feel like that's going to come in handy. Okay, so we have the Death card and the Hermit. These are so interesting and powerful, okay? So wow, okay. So I am seeing that you're going through a purge, all right? I'm seeing a lot of different voices trying to tell you things, and you really needing to purge and let it go, okay? I'm seeing a lot of like, it's not important. I'm seeing like petty kind of conflict becoming so much that you just need to end it. You might have friends and family trying to tell you what to do about your relationship. I'm just getting like voices trying to kind of get in and trying to like have their own say to the point where you don't even know like what's what or what's your own voice anymore. And honestly, this Death card. Death doesn't mean like someone's gonna die necessarily. So a lot of people don't take it literally, and I try not to as well, because the Death card is basically, it's more of like a rebirth card. It's where things are ending and it makes way for new beginnings. But in order for things to end, they have to end, okay? You have to quiet these voices. You have to quiet the squabble, the pettiness, like the arguments. You just have to find the truth of the matter. And this is telling me this is a moment in your life where you're going to have to stop listening. You're going to have to end this. There's going to be some people in your life you're just going to have to say goodbye to. I'm just seeing you having to purge, to let go of their energy, because it is confusing the shit out of you. It is confusing you, and it's like, I don't know, it's a lot, okay? I'm saying this person could be a loner, okay? This also makes sense with the moon. There's somebody who walks their own path, the Hermit. They're driven, but they're also kind of like a student of life. And I love that these two cards, the Page and the Hermit, we have sort of this old and young energy, and I'm sensing that they might be someone who is older than you, or you're older than them, and there might be kind of like a age gap. But the Page of Pentacles isn't super juvenile. Like for their age, they're much more mature than the other pages, you know, and they're much more grounded, they're earthy. So that kind of energy is going to be really important. I want to look a little bit further at, okay. Yeah, so this is exactly what I mean. With the Hermit card and Manas reversed, we know that this is going to be super important, because Manas reversed is like the isolation, the outcast card. Like this person is kind of, maybe they're kind of weird, or they kind of don't like to necessarily ask for help. They're kind of isolated. I'm seeing this kind of isolation, and I'm sensing that they could also be kind of lonely. Like there's this feeling of not being part of society, not being part of humanity, you know, and this is a lot of like 11th house vibes. It feels like a lot more than it is. Sometimes when we're in drama, it feels like so big a deal, like it's so huge, but it's actually not as important as you think it is. And you have to like let that shit go, okay? You have to. You don't want to give up, you know? You have a lot more patience for certain things than they do. So this is really telling me that, you know, you need to really trust your heart and just really also trust your intuition, make that decision. But part of that is also letting go of those voices, okay? I don't know when my camera cut out, so hopefully you saw me put these down. But we have the Six of Swords, we have the World, and we have Raylo reversed. So this basically is about experience. I am sensing with the World that this person has so much to offer. They are extremely experienced, and it's going to require a lot of kind of getting out of your comfort zone. I'm seeing that the worst is actually ending. Like, I'm seeing things moving forward and you being able to get through this. Like I said, I don't see this being like the end of everything. Obviously, that's up to you. You're basically like kind of catching up with them. I'm seeing them really having like a lot of experience to offer you, and it might be something that you're very attracted to. I'm also sensing that, you know, with Ray though, we have travel, okay? I'm sensing travel not being a good idea with them. Like, you might both love to travel, but for some reason, your traveling causes some issues for some reason. This is also something that is telling me this could be like long distance vibes. I'm just sensing that the World is here because in a way it's all coming full circle. It's all kind of meant to be. It's all about manifesting and coming together and being your beautiful, awesome selves. And so I'm just sensing that this is something you can overcome. You know, the storm is passing. Like, this is amazing. The problem is this need to, you know, go the extra mile. And if you can't do that, like, the thing is, that's not the point. That's not what this is about, okay? This isn't about going the extra mile. You don't need to go out of your way to make this work. Like, I'm seeing you being able to fix this at home with them. I'm seeing you creating wonderful experiences with them. And it's really going to be about whether you can be at the same level almost. Okay, so I'm going to look a little bit more at like your energy, your single energy, okay? Oh, wow, okay. So I am seeing that somebody, wow, okay. So I'm seeing somebody who is kind of living in a place of fear almost because of rejection. So I'm seeing you getting hurt in the past or rejected, okay? And I am seeing you feeling like you have to kind of wait and not make the first move. It's almost like you've been burned, and so you feel like you just have to sit back and wait for life to come to you. And maybe that's the best thing to do, honestly. Like, I'm sensing with the High Priestess, you're this intuitive being, and in a way, it's like good to protect your heart. It's good to sit back and wait for that person to like get, you know, connect with you. Because I feel like if you let things happen more organically, that's kind of the message here. I'm sensing like there's like this organic love. We have 2 3s and a 2, right? Like, this is intense. We have these moments of decision, of consequence. And I'm seeing you being rejected and this kind of feeling like, okay, like, obviously what I'm doing is not working. I just need to kind of trust my intuition, trust my psychic energy, recharge, and then, you know, like, wait. So I'm sensing this is a moment for you to process things, and it also might be a moment where you're kind of healing. Like, we had that Temperance energy previously, and I'm seeing you healing or kind of like stepping back into your power almost. But there's also this need to, you know, kind of like wait and manifest love. And you just have to make sure you're not doing it because of rejection, okay? Because you've been hurt. Like, it's not good to do things like this out of fear, all right? So I'm seeing this kind of feeling of delay. It's almost like we have, let me try to get this closer. Okay, we have Isa, the ice rune, which is showing me that there's a lot of like ice in your heart, okay? I'm seeing kind of a feeling of being frozen. Like, that's what Isa is. It's the ice rune. It's frozen. It's like things aren't moving forward or backwards. It's stagnation. And it's kind of like being in limbo. I'm seeing you getting burned, honestly. Like, this is probably recent. For a lot of you, it might be, you know, very raw. But I'm seeing you feeling like, you know, you can't move forward or backwards. Like, I'm just seeing you feeling kind of this stagnation. And Sue's here. We know that this is going to be, a lot of it has to do with your wisdom and listening to your intuition. You know, the High Priestess is saying, like, you need to listen to your intuition. You need to listen to your instincts and protect your energy. And that's exactly what you're doing with the Three of Wands. So, does that mean love isn't in the cards for you? Absolutely not. It just means that you're going to have to take a different approach when it comes to love. And I think it can really burn you when you get rejected, you know? There's also this feeling of like, part of growth is also like learning not to constantly waste your energy on things that are no longer serving you. And Dagaz here is such a powerful rune. And whenever you have it, especially in a placement like this, you know that it's all about transformation and growth and enlightenment, and just, it's the daybreak rune, you know? It's seeing the light and seeing the beauty in things and actually like gaining perspective and taking a step back. So this is like telling me you need to meditate, you need to listen to your spirit guides, you need to listen to your divine energy, because you have that, okay? Answers is also, you might have to seek guidance from a higher power, okay? Sometimes it can mean from friends or an elder person, but I am sensing that this has more to do, in this case, with your divinity and, you know, like seeking help from your tarot deck, okay? Or watching more videos on YouTube like this, or getting help from a psychic. Like, I'm seeing this kind of energy that you just need to embrace and explore, and that will happen through spirituality and through connecting and communicating with a higher power. I'm also seeing that you're going to get the answers that way as well. So this ice is not going to be forever. I'm seeing that somebody might be icing you out too. Let's take a look. Actually, it looks like you're the one who's icing your own self out. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sensing you are icing yourself out. I am sensing that most of this is in your power as well. Like, you can sit back. You can take perspective. You can heal. You can do all these things. And like, rejection hurts, but a lot of the things that you're experiencing, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. It's all in your head. Okay. I'm seeing manifestation coming your way, and trusting people who, I also see that you should maybe ask for advice from people who have more than you. Like, who are kind of on the same path as you, but who have more than you. You might want to seek like a mentorship. Like, don't ask somebody advice if they aren't, you know, resonating with you, or they're not in alignment with what you want to do. Because I'm sensing that you might be relying too much on people who actually don't know you or celebrate your vibes, you know. And I'm just seeing like this kind of reliance and dependence on other people. And I'm also seeing, you know, that we have the 10. There's 2 10s here, which is powerful. 2 3s, 2 10s. We've got all these 6s, and well, this is a 9, but you know, like, there's a lot going on, like, in this reading. Yeah. So there's one way to go when you're hit rock bottom, and that's up. And I'm just seeing you coming up and feeling like you can just watch things go by, things unravel, and not have to constantly do something about it, you know? So I just see you blossoming. I see you feeling like you can actually get through this, and also maturing. I see you kind of growing and maturing emotionally and romantically, and I see you manifesting things, but not because you're out going for it or because you feel hurt. It's almost like I see you kind of growing and manifesting the things you want through your inner power, you know, your own inner wisdom. I think it's beautiful. So yeah, I know I said this was going to be more about singles, but all this like kind of this energy came to me about just other things in your life. There is this rejection, okay, that I'm sensing, this feeling of like not being enough or getting hurt, so you feel like you can't fully trust yourself. But I'm seeing that ending, like I'm seeing that is going to be over, that's going to melt, you know? And you really got to trust yourself, trust your divinity, your intuition. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked this video, if you felt like, you know, it resonated with you, or you want to know more, you want to support my channel, please subscribe and comment and like and turn on the notification bell for more videos. I plan to do more videos in the future, but I really am grateful if you watch this, and yeah, yay. Okay. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. So this is your November love life reading. Okay, so what can we expect with love in November for you, group number 2? Okay, let's start with an overall energetic read so we can kind of see what's in store this month and the overall energy and vibe we're gonna get. So we have the Two of Wands, and we have the Mother of Cups. Oh my God, okay. I'm actually sensing this kind of mother knows best energy. I know that's very literal, but I'm seeing you trying to kind of pull away from what your like caretaker or your kind of the stories that you were told growing up. Somebody really has a say or this feeling about what you should be or who you should be with, perhaps. And it's almost like you're trying to go your own way. You're trying to find your independence. So I see this month being a very like independent sort of journey for you of trying to kind of branch out and be your own person. In a relationship, this could be somebody kind of holding your attention, somebody maybe even being kind of clingy or demanding or expecting more from you. And I'm trying to make sure you can see properly. Yeah, I'm trying to get this kind of image in I'm seeing this vision, okay, of you trying to kind of be your own person and be independent, but this person is requiring a lot of emotion from you. Maybe you're giving a lot more than you're getting, but I'm going to look more into this. And I want to see why you are kind of branching out, what is kind of driving this, and what's going on right now. They depend on you, or they're kind of maybe clingy, but I'm just getting this like needy energy from someone, or this person feels like they kind of know best, or they feel like they are attached to you in some way, and you kind of wanting to like be your own person and branch out, you know? And there's sort of this energy where you're kind of at a fork in the path where you have to choose whether you're going to really like give it your all, or whether you're going to kind of seek more. Whoa, this automatically fell out from the back. So I'm actually going to use this as an overall kind of vibe here. We have the Magician. It's demonstrative of somebody who has all the resources and things that they need to move forward on their path. But often it's that they're not doing anything about it, you know? And so I'm sensing that you're kind of in this place where things can take off for you, where there is like, you're ready. You're feeling like you have to choose between your path and somebody else, or your love life. You're seeking independence because you know you have everything that you need for your journey. You hold the cards in the relationship. If there is a relationship, you are the one who holds the cards. I'm seeing you having a lot more power than maybe you even realize in your love life and in your life, actually. I'm seeing you being like kind of having all the knowledge you need to make the right decisions, to follow your own path. And the question is, how is that going to affect your love life? How is that going to affect where you're at? So let's look a little further. We have the star. Yes. So I feel like destiny is on your mind. Okay. I don't feel like you are driven by like what makes sense. I feel like in a way, destiny and fate, that's what's on your mind. With the star, we know that there is some divine guidance kind of taking over and kind of lighting the path for you. And so you know you have what you need. You have this star, you have the divine guidance to make your own path, make your own way. You have to decide whether they're going to be on that journey with you or not. And this could be very supportive. They could just be this grounding energy that you know is there for you while you make your own way. But the problem is that you're not. You know that you're destined for more, okay? I'm seeing this knowledge that there is more out there for you. This could be even some psychic insight that you have, some sign from the universe that you have that there's more hope for you. You're gonna have to decide whether there's someone you wanna pack in your parachute, okay? Like whether there's someone you wanna take this leap with, because you have everything you need. Like it's almost like you're at a place in your life where you're like ready, okay? But does this person align with that? Because right now, your destiny is presenting itself to you. I am sensing this kind of like, it's meant to be kind of feeling, okay? So I want to look deeper into all that. I feel like that's very powerful. The star, it's just like, you're also very hopeful. I'm sensing this kind of like needing to see the bright side, trying to be positive, trying to see the best in people. I'm actually sensing that you are someone who you're so like, you have such an open heart in a way where you're able to be open-minded and accept people to the point where sometimes you might put yourself behind. You might choose to not make a decision, or you might miss out because you have put someone else's feelings above your own, or because, you know, you just want other people to be happy and you rely on them. But I am sensing that you don't need those people. You just need yourself, and you need to pursue your dreams. And, you know, it's beautiful being able to stay positive and see the best in everybody. But I'm just sensing that you know that you're destined for something bigger. And that's really going to be apparent this month, okay? It's almost like enlightenment as well. Like I'm sensing that there's this moment where you might enlighten yourself. It's almost like you're leveling up spiritually. Sometimes we have this moment where we're looking at our life and we realize that all of these things we're doing, it's so little compared to the grand scheme of things. You could be so much bigger than you are. And it's also like this idea of like, okay, what's out there for me? What is my destiny? What am I supposed to do? Is it who I'm supposed to be with, or is it like what path I'm supposed to take? And I feel like your path is so important and it's on your mind. So let's keep going. Oh my God. Okay. So in the previous one, in group 1, we also had the sun in this placement. I love that. So, okay. Wow. Okay, so we know that, like, this is not coming from a place of, I'm not good enough or I'm terrible. Like, this is coming from a good place. This is coming from a positive place. Once again, we have this kind of positivity. We have this feeling of needing to shine and needing to see the brightness. When we have the sun, it can be kind of surface level. You know, it's like living in a way that looks good, living in a way that seems good. And often it's not diving deeper. It's like things are so good that you don't want to actually explore further. Does that make sense? So like sometimes when things are just really good, you don't want to rock the boat. You don't want to like explore any sense of darkness. So it can keep you at this kind of standstill. It can make you feel like you're not moving forwards, you're not moving backwards, because you're kind of just content. Like, why would you want to fuck with that? You know, like, why would you want to? So you are just kind of living in this place of, I have everything I need, you know, like, I don't want to mess with that. Sometimes that light, when things are so bright, they can be blinding, right? Like, the sun is beautiful. I even made a whole video about the sun and the magic of the sun, right? We often frown upon the sun because the sun is, it can burn us, it can blind us, you know, skin cancer. Like, there's a lot of shit that happens when you just stay in the sun sometimes. But there's also this illuminating factor to it where it lightens up your path. It brightens everything up, and it's healthy to be in the sun. You know, there's vitamin D, right? And it's warm, and it's beautiful. And it's also, I'm sensing also for some of you, this is going to feel like you're kind of the center of attention. You know, maybe you're used to being in the spotlight. For some of you, I'm seeing that this could be like an artistic path. Maybe you get an opportunity that's presented to you to shine, to radiate. You're an artist and you get this gig in LA and you want to go pursue your dreams. But your relationship that's always been supportive of you, it's a factor. And like, you have all the, you know, things that you need in order to persevere. But I'm just seeing your path is veering, right? It's changing. And is your relationship going to change with that? How much of a hold does it have on your life? But back to the sun here. So the sun is also blinding. It blinds us. Sometimes it's so bright, right? We can't look at it. We can't look directly at it without hurting our eyes, without blinding us. So in a way, sometimes when things like that blind us, we're not fully able to see things, right? We're not able to fully see things. And what this is showing me with the Eight of Swords is that you're kind of in this place where you are also blinded, often by your ego. In this case, I'm sensing that your ego, your ideals, this could blind you as well. So this idea of being the star, or, you know, the world kind of revolving around you, it can often make you oblivious to what really matters and to the truth. I realize this is all over the place, but I'm getting like so many different messages here. But the overall vibe I'm getting is that there's kind of this path that's veering off. But I am seeing that your ego, the sun represents the ego, could also be blinding you from what matters. And that could be this relationship. So it's easy to feel like, you know, I don't want to put anything on hold for another person. You know, I don't want my relationship to get in the way of my destiny, my dreams. But sometimes our relationships are exactly what we need. So I know this is kind of all over the place, okay? I feel like there's just this overall vibe of needing to choose your path, whether that's a path of being like the star or, you know, the center of attention. I feel like your destiny is just like a huge deal right now. And there are some major decisions that need to be made. You have everything you need, whether you realize it or not. You have everything you need to be at the place you want to be and to pursue your dreams. The question also is whether the person in your life, whether your love life is going to interfere with that. You know, are they the person that is going to support you and lift you up? And the problem is that this light is so bright that sometimes it outshines other people, or it outshines the truth. With the sword is all about clarity. And when you have the Eight of Swords, we know that there's kind of like this lack of clarity. There's a lot that is unknown. There's a lot that you're blind to often. There's so much that you just can't see, you know? And the truth is, you're still in your cocoon, you know? You're still wrapped up in your own cocoon, and you're blinded, okay? So this is really going to be kind of one of these moments. Things kind of can become very crystal clear. It's almost like you're so blinded, like it's so bright, and the only way to break free of it is by taking a leap of faith. It's almost like you have to shoot in the dark. God, I wish I could just give you the answers and tell you how to get off, like which path to take and like all that. You're gonna have to just try it. You're gonna have to take a leap because you can't fully see everything around you. You have this kind of these big dreams. I'm seeing you having this, like, even maybe you're driven by your ego, but I'm seeing destiny is also a big thing, and rising above everything. But the truth is, you're still in your cocoon and you can't fully see everything. It's so bright. It's so much. And the only way you can make this decision is by taking a leap, which is really interesting, right? Because we often have a lot more power over our choices than we think we do. But in this case, this is showing me that by trying so hard to figure it out and make a choice, you're staying in this state of, well, I have everything I need, but I'm not doing anything about it. In a way, you just have to take a shot in the dark. And I know that can be very scary, especially if you're kind of like the star. You like to be in the spotlight. Like, you don't want to just like be, too random. But sometimes you have to learn from your mistakes. I hope that makes sense. Like, you have to trust that the magician has your back. The Fool is about new beginnings. It's about, innocence and being kind of candid and just being a kid. And kids don't know everything. They don't have all the experience. You have to just have faith, and you just have to take that leap of faith. You just have to go for it. Stop overthinking it. Like, you can't see clearly. This is such a beautiful moment because it's also going to like allow you to evaluate who you really are. And it's also about your identity, and figuring out, who am I? Who am I? What happens when all that light fades? What happens at the end of the day when I am no longer, that same person? Who am I? And this is definitely going to play a part in that. So I am just seeing this beautiful moment. Be careful of not letting your ego get in the way. Let's pull another card. See, we have another major arcana card. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. So, all right. So I'm seeing that your life, like the people around you, it's almost like you're manifesting things. I'm just seeing you leveling up in the world, especially outside of your relationship. I'm seeing like just so much growth. This is not a time where you are just stuck, being stagnant. I'm seeing you being on a path to greatness. I'm seeing you being on such a beautiful kind of moment where you are just growing and evolving, and things are so bright and you can't see where you're going, but you need to keep going because I'm seeing like life just kind of manifesting in such a beautiful way around you. The Seven of Pentacles is very grounding, very earthy, but I imagine it to be like a tree. When I think about it, I think about a tree and just so many fruits of all types just growing on the tree, ripe for the picking. Like, I feel like you are at a point in your life where this is the time to harvest. This is the time to follow your dreams. And you also have to trust that you have that person with you. Sometimes we have to make decisions for ourselves, and we kind of just have to see like what our partner will do, right? We have to see what our love life will bring. If they really want it to work out, if they really want to be with you, they will follow, or they'll be on the same team as you. They will embrace the journey with you. So you kind of also have to have trust that it's going to work out, If you're single and you're like, I'm kind of into this person, or I have a crush on this person. Like, you kind of have to just trust. You have to trust that shit is just going to work out. I'm seeing you being very confident, and I'm just seeing you being very, like, devoted almost. And I think that can also hold you back a little bit when it comes to pursuing your dreams, because you just want to be there for the people you love. And the idea of focusing on yourself can be scary because you don't want to give up. The Mother of Cups, it's also known as the Queen of Cups in tarot cards. She can be a lot. They have this kind of doting energy. Somebody who can really develop a very deep connection. If you're single, I'm sensing that there's kind of this emotional part of your love life that you have trouble because you don't want to give up on it. And you feel like if you are pursuing other things, and you feel like if you're being independent, that's you being like, I don't want to have love, or you're shutting yourself off. I am seeing that one of your hopes is that you're able to actually establish more certainty and more values for yourself. You're having a hard time with boundaries. You're kind of afraid to set them because there's sometimes when we first jump into a relationship or when we're with somebody and we don't have boundaries established, creating boundaries all of a sudden can be really difficult and can create a lot of like confusion and turmoil. And there's almost like you want to have boundaries. You want to kind of be able to say no, but at the same time, like you're afraid to put them in place. So I'm getting this sense of kind of a fear of creating boundaries or saying no to this person, or saying like, I want to focus on me, or I need space. Like there's just this kind of fear of saying your needs. They don't have bad intentions. I'm seeing them caring so deeply about you, but I'm also seeing you feeling very overwhelmed with all of these decisions. So the 10 of Wands, there's like a lot on your shoulders, but there's also this need to put your foot down. You know, you want to create these boundaries. You want to make sure you're taking care of your own needs, your own self, your own dreams, your own career. And I just think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. Trust that your love life will work out, because when you're focused on your path and your destiny, like things naturally come into place. They naturally manifest as well. So I want to look a little bit more into this particular person that I'm seeing, because I'm not seeing them as someone who's bad, okay? I'm not seeing them as someone who's like going to like ruin you or, you know, take all your happiness away. Like, I'm not seeing that at all, no. I'm seeing them as somebody who probably has your best interest at heart. They probably do care so much about you. The question is, how are they going to be involved in it? How are they going to do it? Are they going to make you feel smothered? Are they going to make you feel like you can't make these decisions? Are they somebody that you just want to take with you on your trip? We're going to do a mirror spread so I can kind of look at them and you. If you're in a relationship, this will make more sense to you. If you're single, this could represent someone that you may have had your eye on, or someone that's coming into your life. So don't just shrug it off. I am sensing this could be a soulmate. Like, this is soulmate energy. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. I'm excited. Okay, so we have Son of Pentacles. Oh, quick note. Okay, so I'm going to do this mirror spread. I'm probably going to refer to this side as your side and this side as the other person's side, but you may feel like you resonate more with the other person and the energy is just resonating more over here. So you can definitely just like switch that and refer to the other person as this side, okay? I'm just going to say it just so, like, I don't know, I'm used to doing that, especially in personal readings. Also, you might resonate with both sides. What is this? Like, I'm getting the vibe of you both kind of just like tinkering along in your own way. I'm seeing that you both have so much to offer, and I'm seeing you both being very hard workers and you both caring a lot about the details. First of all, we have a lot of pentacle energies, so there's a lot of earthy vibes here. But I'm seeing you both really caring about the details, the small things. In a way, you can be very peculiar about them. The Son of Pentacles in a regular tarot deck is the Knight of Pentacles. And when we have the Son of Pentacles, a lot of the time, and I'm sensing this could be the case for you, your environment is super, super important to your happiness. And I'm sensing that you might be thinking of moving or changing your environment. I'm seeing you also being someone who might be more meticulous. I definitely could see you meeting as students or through learning. You might really bond over a hobby, like something very particular, not just like you like dogs, but more like you like crafting chairs or something. Maybe that's a little too much. I'm seeing you both being hard workers. I'm seeing one of you could be a workaholic. One of you is pursuing something bigger based on their hobby. Like, I'm just seeing your passions playing a huge part in what you do and who you are. A lot of the time, these people, they get very close together. They get very like intertwined in each other's lives. And I don't know, I'll see what the other cards have to say, but I'm not sensing necessarily like a codependent vibe or toxic energy. I'm sensing something very loving and supportive. You know, when I see the spider web, I also kind of think of safety net. Some spider webs are super strong, okay? And I'm seeing somebody like winding a blanket around you and kind of keeping you in the safety net. And you feel safe, you know, and secure. And the Son of Pentacles is also about security. This energy that we were talking about, that's a big deal for you because it doesn't come around often. Like, it's not the kind of thing that you experience every day. I'm not seeing you as a huge diva or drama queen necessarily. Like, I'm seeing you in a moment of your life where things are dramatic and you need to take a leap of faith. But that might be really hard for these people because I'm sensing that is something that isn't easy for someone like this. They're not necessarily the type to just like jump into things and make these huge life changes out of the blue. You know, we'll look a little bit further. All right, we have the Father of Cups. And then we also have 8 of Cups. Wow. I'm actually sensing that this person has some abandonment issues. Perhaps somebody left them. Perhaps they had to leave something behind. They're kind of like holding on tight. I can see them being like that. With the Father of Cups, they have the empire of the heart, right? They rule over the heart. You have this way of like holding space for their attachment. I'm just sensing you have this so much love to give. You have this very like strong, sensitive energy, and I'm seeing you as someone who's might be more emotional and more in touch with their emotions than this person. You just want like the world for them. I'm seeing you just caring so deeply, and I'm seeing this kind of loving kind of relationship where you both learn so much from each other. You bond over skills. I'm just seeing something beautiful, and I am sensing a lot of soulmate energy. And the thing about this is this attachment kind of thing, this like fear of abandonment, this kind of needing to be secure. It's almost like you guys are made for each other because you're kind of perfect for that in a lot of ways. So when you have to make a major decision and let your light shine and take leaps, it can be scary, you know? So I just want to keep that in mind. I'm actually going to pull a rune because I want to kind of see how these energies are connected. Hagalaz. Okay. So, Hagalaz is the hailstorm rune. Okay. And the hailstorm is something that you can't control. It's very similar to the Tower card. There's no way you can make the hailstorm stop. You just have to kind of get through it. It can create chaos, it can create delays, it can destroy things, right? It's just something that you just have to go with and surrender to. And I'm sensing a lot of things outside of your control, trying to, like, it's interesting because I feel like the worst parts, like the most difficult parts of this relationship aren't things that you necessarily bring to the table. It's like outside circumstances that you just don't have control over. There's just like some external force that's working against you. So with hail, we know it's also like ice and water. You might feel like there's some water energy going between you, but it's kind of frozen, okay? And that's not really something that is under your control. So you might feel like right now, there's just a lot of shit that's being like thrown your way that you really just have to kind of roll with. And that could be a move, that could be having to move. That could be your dreams kind of coming into perspective. That could be you not fully seeing everything clearly. Like there's a lot of possibilities for that. I'm also sensing some energy that is Aquarius. So you might feel like this person is Aquarius. I'm sensing a lot of Aquarius energy, a lot of Capricorn. So we have Aquarius and Capricorn, which are very wintry signs. So you might really resonate with winter. And I'm also sensing like some Saturn energy. So you could also look at your chart to see where Saturn is, or their chart if you have access to it. See where Saturn is and see what areas of your life that these things are playing out. You might actually feel like your hobbies really resonate in those areas. So for example, my Saturn is in Aquarius and Pisces, and it's in the 3rd house. So a lot of the things I like to do have to do with information and intellect, and it's a house of like communication, and just like it's ruled by Gemini, which I have a lot of. So I feel like it's very telling. If this were for me, I would know that maybe that's something that I have in common with that person that I'm bonding over. I want to get into your wants and needs, because our wants and our needs are very different. We often confuse the two of them. We think, okay, what do I want? Well, that's the same thing as what I need. Nope. Sorry. Not the same thing. So the Son of Wands is what you want. It looks like you want someone who is more exciting, someone who is more of like an initiator. Wands has to do with fire, fire energy. And I'm sensing that you're looking for someone to kind of jump into things with you, to propel you, to initiate things and spark things. I think the thing is, with the Son of Pentacles, they're very sweet and grounding and nurturing, but they often lack this fire. And you might feel like at this time in your life, you need somebody who is more initiative, more assertive, maybe who has a better way with words, is more flirtatious. Like I'm sensing that you might need some spice, okay? I'm sensing you might need somebody who is going to get out of their comfort zone a little bit. And I'm sensing that might not be the case. Like this person is they need security, they need like to be swept up in their own thing. They need to work on their own abandonment and attachment. And often they might rely on you for that, for this kind of motivation. So for this person, I'm sensing that what they want is to just have enough. They don't have to be rich or, provide everything or have it all. Whereas you, my beautiful creatures, are a little different, because you want something fiery. You want someone who isn't afraid to go for what they want. And that's scary, because it requires somebody to be okay with being a little insecure. This person's like, I want to just be enough. I want to just have enough. I want to be okay with where I'm at. I just want to be okay. I'm sensing this feeling of, I just want to be okay. Like, I don't need to be complicated and go wild, But I'm sensing that that's kind of limiting them, because they do really need to try to like basically manifest what they want, follow their dreams, be secure. Like I'm seeing that they really need to expand and establish themselves and pursue what they want and manifest the life they want. But what you really just need is somebody who's going to commit to you. Somebody who's going to celebrate life with you, who's going to find that stability with you. And I think a lot of us can get kind of carried away and we want another person to be more proactive in a relationship. And what we really don't realize is that we just want someone to be on our team. You know, we want someone to be on our side. You may realize that's exactly what you're looking for. I'm going to see how these energies connect. Okay, so we have Ray though. It's almost like you guys need to sit down and talk about exactly like what you're expecting out of your relationship or what you want, because there's kind of this disconnect on that. You need to kind of go the extra mile for each other. I'm seeing that. And I'm also seeing that travel could really actually help you both bond. Like, you need to get out of your bubble. I'm just seeing this kind of bubble around you that you're kind of stuck in, and travel. All right, let's look a little bit at the influences here. Yeah, I'm just seeing like a hustler, like somebody who just wants to hustle, to work, to provide safety, to get to this kind of sense of security. You know, progress isn't necessarily linear, and I'm sensing that things are kind of at a plateau when it comes to progress. And the Father of Pentacles, I'm sensing there's somebody who, this is like a very domestic kind of vibe. Family, I'm sensing this kind of need to build a family and wanting a family, especially on your end. So I'm seeing family and wanting to create one being a big part of this as well. Let's see how these energies connect. Okay, so we have men as reversed. This is not going to be a conventional relationship. I'm seeing you at a time in your life where you really only can rely on each other. Oh, that's so beautiful. We have the two twos, you know? The Two of Pentacles, the Two of Cups. I'm seeing, yes, okay. So I'm seeing this blossoming into something beautiful. I am seeing that all this can be overcome. I'm just seeing you guys really being able to commit and connect. And, you know, the Two of Cups is partnership and connection. And we have the Two of Pentacles, which is balance and infinity, and just feeling like you can blossom and grow together. I just feel like all of this is just going to work out. I feel like this is going to be much stronger. I'm sensing soulmate energy. I'm sensing even twin flame energy. Berkana is the birch rune, and it also has to do with birth and beginning. So when it comes to starting a family, this could be a really prosperous sign for fertility. But also the birth of an idea, the birth of something new. I'm just sensing like commitment. All of this is just going to play out so beautifully. And I'm just, yeah, like it's beautiful. I'm seeing this being really about romance and partnership. And you just have to like negotiate, work things through, kind of figure out what your place is, kind of figure out how to come together and keep things balanced and beautiful. Okay, so I want to just quickly look at some other messages coming through. Okay, so we have Temperance, we have the Six of Swords, the Chariot, and we have the Mother of Wands. Ooh. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. What a variety, right? So Temperance is a very powerful card. I'm sensing that things this month are going to be kind of slow when it comes to like meeting new people, and like there's a lot of healing going on. We have the Six of Swords, which is indicative of healing, and Temperance is also healing. So we have this kind of like healing energy kind of coming out of this darkness, kind of moving forward, accepting that the storm has passed, kind of picking up pieces. I'm seeing like this very strong healing vibe, and in a way also like radiating that to other people. But it's also going to mean you have to be patient, okay? There is somebody that maybe kind of overprotective. And I feel like that's going to interfere with you meeting new people as well. Like it's almost like you might feel almost like you're a little smothered. There is this need to kind of break out of your zone and like branch out and do your own thing. I'm just seeing you being able to rise above everything. I'm seeing you being able to find success in what you want. And I'm seeing that all of that confidence, that ability to break free and kind of like do your own thing and go your own way is just going to make things even better. However, I am seeing with the 5 of Pentacles that you might have to separate yourself from somebody or something that is no longer feeling good. I'm seeing like this feeling of you feeling like you're no longer at home. Like home is super important. And I feel like at home there's something going on that might be making you feel distance or making you feel like you have to separate. And so that is something that I think you really need to focus on as well. But just know that there's a lot of healing energy, a lot of beauty happening. I'm just really happy for you. So I'm sensing also that there is something you have to get off your chest. I'm seeing that you're also kind of withholding things. There's a lot of fear around how others will accept it. I'm seeing some kind of secret that you're holding on to that you really need to be open about. With Yara, we know that this is a cycle, this is a pattern, and I'm just sensing you kind of like embracing the now. Like the time is now, the time is here, and greatness awaits you. So yeah, so I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this reading. And please comment, like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell for more videos. I would love it, and I want to hear, what you have to say about it. Did this resonate with you? Was it off? Like, I just want to know. Okay, bye-bye. Welcome, group number 3. This is your November love life reading. If you have chosen this beautiful stone here and this beautiful deck, the Shadowscapes Tarot deck, then you are in the right place. We're going to start with an overall read of your energy this month, in energy when it comes to love and relationships. We have the Ace of Cups and we have the Ace of Wands. 2 aces. That is exciting because we know that this is something new, something blossoming. This is a new chapter in your life, and I'm sensing this new amazing energy coming through for you with love. With Ace of Wands, this means a spark, something wild, something beautiful, something new and exciting and inspiring. And then we also have the Ace of Cups, which is beautiful and flowing energy, and it also, with cups, it represents love and sensitivity and emotion. So we know this is going to be something beautiful, something romantic, and if you're already in a relationship and things are going kind of wacky and wonky, you know that this is going to not last. You know that there is something amazing that's going to happen with this relationship. There's something new coming in, maybe a new energy that is going to shake things up and make things even better for you. These are wonderful cards, wonderful sign, straight off. We know that this energy is vibrant. You're kind of going back to the drawing board, if that makes any sense. So you're going back to square one. You might even feel like you're falling in love all over again. If you're in a long-term relationship, this is a time to explore those energies and really explore those moments of youth and innocence, and it's just something beautiful. If you are looking for love, this is saying there are love interests. This could even mean that there are 2 love interests coming into your life and shaking things up. We're going to look a little bit further at what this all means, but I already love this energy. It's amazing. It's so exciting. It is. So we have the 10 of Cups, which is telling me that love is on your mind. I already am sensing that this month is going to be something so beautiful. The Ten of Cups is telling me that you're thinking of family. You're thinking of love. The 10 is everything coming full circle. And the Cups is everything coming full circle when it comes to love. And this isn't necessarily in this placement. It doesn't necessarily mean how you're going to manifest love. But it does mean that your head is in the right space. It means that your intentions are all about love. And when you are thinking about love and when you're really believing in love, that means that you can manifest love. That's the law of attraction 101. So your head is in the right space when it comes to attracting happiness and love and joy. What could go wrong? I'm trying to see what could actually shake things up here, because so far, this is just this beautiful spark. If you are in a long-term relationship, this is saying there is something that is going to spice things up for you. This is an opportunity for you to be motivated, to try something new, and also to just grow with your family. So we have the Four of Swords, okay, and the Queen of Cups, and the Two of Swords. So automatically, it is exactly what I was sensing. You might have come from a period where things were kind of stagnant and not moving forward or backwards. There's this feeling of not necessarily stuck, but just being in this state of things aren't moving forward. Things aren't spicing up. Things aren't leveling up. It's kind of like this plateau. You're just waiting, kind of. You're waiting for things to grow, to blossom, and nothing is happening. And that can be very frustrating. But the Queen of Cups shows me that you're really coming into your element. You're really embracing your emotional side, your sensitivity, and you're really embodying who you're supposed to be. This also means that you're coming in touch with your emotions and you're finding ways to deal with your emotions this month. And if you're not, this is a wake-up call for you, saying you need to do that. You need to really learn how to express yourself, how to come to terms with your emotions. The other thing is, not all of us understand that our emotions are beautiful, even the ones that are nasty or uncomfortable. And this is showing me that you're becoming very comfortable with feeling what you're feeling. The one thing that I'm already seeing with the Two of Swords, because so far things have been pretty beautiful, right? We have this moment of maybe not, things not moving, but it's not bad. That's life. Things just, sometimes we go through dry spells in relationships. Sometimes we kind of lack that excitement that we want. And it's also, things are comfortable. But I am seeing that you're going to be kind of torn. So this could very well mean that these are two new people, new love interests coming into your life, and you feeling like you have one foot in, one foot out. You're not really sure who to choose, or just how you feel about the situation, which is interesting because this is showing me as someone who really wants to be in tune with how they're feeling. Either way, no matter what it is, there's two new energies. And you having to, there's this indecision, this needing to weigh your options, needing to, it's almost, it could have to do also with mental health and mental illness. If you're struggling with your mental health and you're trying to get out of that funk, it makes a lot of sense that right now you're really exploring and opening your emotions up, which is helping you heal. But I'm also sensing that just love is, it's something that you're really trying to embrace this month. As long as you're able to be okay with not necessarily making a choice right away. Does that make sense? There's this urge, maybe somebody is saying, you have to choose, or you feel like you have to make a decision. But what I'm sensing is you don't have to actually choose. It's funny because the first group that I had, it was all about making a decision and making a wake-up call. having this kind of moment where you have to break out of this funk. This is saying, you know what? Stay in it. Enjoy it. This is what is meant to happen, and you're just supposed to enjoy it. And this is also saying that if opportunities do come along, like if you're like, Zoe, this is not real. Like, I'm not expecting anyone new in my life. Like, that's this Four of Swords talking. I can't tell you what to do with your love life, okay? I can just show you what the cards are saying, and there are two energies, and this could be the same energy, just different, sides of it, but they're both beautiful sides. They're both emotional and love and just, I'm so excited. This is just a moment for you to really explore and feel like you can start over and start fresh, and it's just a beautiful new beginning. I'm also seeing a new project that could actually be amplifying your feelings, something you're very passionate about coming in, and it's like an idea. A lot of the time when we have the Ace of Wands, we have this idea, like you're not very sure. It might feel confusing because sometimes when we have so much emotion going on, it can be kind of confusing, okay? Like, it makes sense. It does. No matter what, I'm trying to turn these cards because they're a little bit off. Okay. So I have the Knight of Wands, which is already telling me this month, okay, like there's this confidence about you that I'm seeing. You have so much power to attract people and to go out and just get who you want. I'm just seeing you wanting to be that person who takes someone out on a date or who goes on a date. I'm just seeing you being like, this could be like a serial dater moment. Maybe that's not the right word, but where you are constantly, you're playing the game, okay? And the game isn't necessarily a bad thing. I know people are like, don't play games with me, but there are some ways to manage it and deal with dating and the game, if that makes any sense. Like, it doesn't mean you're not being real with people, but it does mean that you are a flirt. I'm seeing this energy about you where you just feeling like you can flirt, you can be amazing. If this is what you need to get out there and get your butt out of the house, get out of this state of comfort, get out of your comfort zone, just know that you have what it takes. You have the confidence, and you obviously have to put yourself in these situations, okay? I'm not saying all of a sudden you're going to wake up and you're going to feel in love, right? You have to find that person. You still have to do the work. You still have to go out there, but I'm saying it's going to be easier for you to manifest that. It's almost like the cards are saying, hello, like, this is your moment. You should go out there and find the one because they are waiting for you. And it doesn't mean it's going to necessarily turn into a huge relationship, true love right away. But there are going to be, it's like the seeds have been planted and you just have to find the sprouts. You have to find those and help them blossom and nurture that relationship and that plant. I apologize if the lighting is a little weird today. Okay. Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is usually a beautiful card, but I am sensing there's somebody that might be kind of a cock block. Perhaps it's we'll look into this, okay? But I'm seeing somebody who is very, like, you might want to pursue something with someone, but they're trying to, like, guard you. They're trying to keep you. Maybe they're doing it in a way to keep you safe. We'll look at their intentions. But I'm seeing this, it could actually just be another thing. Like, it could be your work. Like, something keeps trying to get in the way. But this is showing me you have everything you need to overcome that. And to say, step aside, I want to get laid. Or I want to be with my person. Like, this is saying, like, you have everything you need to kind of, like, take things and move things forward. And you have to do it by following your heart. This is so beautiful. This is just so beautiful. Oh my God. If you're trying to start a family, this is saying you could be popping out babies. Like, I'm serious. I'm not really qualified to tell you exactly about your fertility, but this is the time for you to try. All right. There's just this energy of abundance, of new beginnings, of birth. Okay. So we have the Two of Swords and we have the Two of Wands. 2 and 2. Ace and ace. And what this is telling me is there is going to be a choice that you are afraid of making. doesn't mean you have to make that choice. It's going to be a very difficult choice. And I'm seeing this being between two sparks, two flames. So this could mean two projects that involve love. This could mean two passions, but I'm seeing this energy of you having this fear of having to make a decision. So if you're open dating right now and you are seeing two people and you're not really ready to commit to either one of them, there is this fear that I'm sensing within you to not be able to choose. You just don't want to have to decide. There's this fear of having to be decisive. And I'm seeing you really struggling with that in the future. By the end of November, you might feel like you're struggling to decide between two things that you want or desire. And you're afraid to have to make a decision and also the consequences that come with that decision. You're not sure what to trust, which way to go. But I am seeing that there's also a fear that comes with that, a fear of choosing, you know what, this just popped out of my hand, so I am going to go with it. We have the Page of Pentacles, which is telling me that I am actually going to associate this with the Nine of Wands, because there is a similar energy here, where there is something that is actually trying to block you and get in your way. It's like an obstacle, but I'm seeing it being small. And I'm seeing it being something you could overcome. And I am seeing it being perhaps a person. And this could be a family member trying to say, like, you can't do this. Or even if they don't say it outright, I'm seeing them trying, their energy kind of coming across as no, like, this isn't going to work. And you might feel very frustrated about that. And it actually may have to do with this choice that you have to make. And I'm also seeing that there could be two different opportunities that coincide with each other. They almost like they clash with each other. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards. And I want to take a deeper look at the relationship that I am seeing. So I definitely want to make sure that you get the chance. I dropped my cards. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle them again. And we're going to try to do our best to not drop them this time. I feel like that is probably a sign that not everything is as it seems here. And things are a lot more complicated than I previously thought. So the cards are trying to tell me something here. This is about your relationship. So if you are already in a relationship, this is going to be your reading for your relationship. There is a chance, like I said, that there are multiple love interests, especially if you're single, or there's different passions going on. So I want to take further look at that, and I'll be doing another relationship reading as well, another mirror spread, so you can see potentially if that person is somebody that stands out to you or resonates with you. So I love mirror spreads because they allow us to look at both sides of the story and look deeper at the other person as well as yourself and see kind of the connection between the two. And remember, you don't have to necessarily resonate with this one. I might refer to you, as this one, because it's a habit of mine. When I'm in a personal reading with someone, I tend to be able to focus more and read their energy. But since this is a general reading, please feel free to take either side that resonates with you. You also might resonate with both of them. This is a mirror spread, so it might be showing you two different sides of yourself. Keep that in mind. People come into our lives because they're mirrors of us. They bring out certain sides of us. They show us certain things about ourselves. They teach us things. And so this is definitely going to teach you a lot about yourself in one way or another. I'm already sensing a very complicated energy. I'm sensing that, you know how I said all this beautiful blossoming energy? Well, this is showing me that there's a lot more to this. The Eight of Cups is telling me that this person is kind of done. It's almost like they realize that they're not getting something out of the situation. They realize that maybe something is missing, or that you're out of touch, or things aren't the way they used to be. and they're thinking of getting up and leaving. It's almost like you might have this situation where it's my last straw. That's it. I am no longer going to put up with this, or you're not listening to me, or you're not feeling me. I'm just sensing this deep emotional resentment almost, or just feeling of there's something missing. Now, does that mean that this is going to be the end of it and this is how everything is going to be, or the truth of it? No, this is how this person is right now. I'm seeing their situation where they are feeling like they're not getting what they need. They're not getting things emotionally. It's like their emotional cup is not being filled. And I'm seeing them really thinking of leaving, really thinking of getting up and going. And this is probably why I sensed that if you're single, this could be a past relationship, because this might really resonate with you. And what this is definitely showing me as well is that the swords, the Four of Swords card that we had, has a lot to do with this. Often we're in this place of stagnation where we're not really moving forward or backwards. And I'm seeing this person feeling like they're in that state of, I have to be in this relationship, but is it still what I want? Is it still what's here for me? Now I'm seeing them not having left yet. The Ace of Pentacles is showing me that there is something that you're working on. There's an opportunity perhaps. So what this reminds me of is in a marriage, when one person is working all the time and they're really excited because they're getting promotion, or they feel like they can get a raise, or they're finally starting their new business and they're like, yay, why can't you just support me? This is great. I can provide for my family. And then this person's like, but I am not on the same page and I'm not getting what I need. I'm not feeling love. It feels like it's no longer like it used to be. That's the sense that I'm getting. It's no longer like it used to be. It no longer feels relevant. It no longer feels like you're in alignment with me. So I'm seeing these two people that are kind of at a disconnect. It feels like you're in this place where you're focusing on this shiny new opportunity, these shiny new things, and you have so much to offer. And I'm getting this feeling of like, but I want to provide for you. I want to be there for you. But this person's kind of like, no, I really don't feel like you're seeing me anymore. I don't feel the same way that I used to. And I know that if I stay, I'm not going to grow. I'm not going to be able to blossom with you. And so I'm getting this feeling of this hesitation. Some of you in a relationship, if you're in here, you're like, no, my relationship's great. Okay. This is showing me that this person needs to have a chat with you, because it's showing me that not all of their needs are being met, that in a way they're feeling like they can't fully get the love that they need out of you. And oftentimes that happens because they are relying so much on you for love that they're no longer looking at it for themselves. They're no longer trying to get the love from themselves. And we often have to provide love for ourselves before we can provide love for another person. So I'm just seeing this struggle of, well, I want more out of a partner. I want more romance, whatever it is. There's something that you are lacking, or that they are lacking, either one. And I'm seeing that you aren't really on the same page. There's like a disconnect almost. It's interesting. We have the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. So for you, there's something that's just beginning, something new, a new business endeavor, something that will lead you on a path to success. Perhaps you both got into a relationship and you were both really on your own path to success, and yours is finally paying off. It's finally working out. But what does that mean for your relationship? You know, what does that mean? So let's look at that. Okay, we have the Justice and the Knight of Cups. All right, so automatically, this is exactly what I'm saying. So the Eight of Cups, there is this moment where this person has to decide what is right. What is right for their relationship? What is right for them? And sometimes that means having to think objectively, having to put their feelings aside just for a second to think about, okay, well, what makes sense for me? What's my next move? Because this person is obviously on their own journey. Do I stay here and support this person? What is it that's missing? This is forcing this person to basically look at their relationship and look at, why is this happening? What do I need? And at this point, I need to just decide what's right for me and what's right for us. Because a lot of the time when we're so swept up in our own moments and our own drama, we can't really see what's right for us. Us is the word. And this is also showing this disconnect for you, because the Knight of Cups often appears when we are forced to pursue, with the Knight of Cups, it's a pursuit. When we're forced to decide between our emotions, our relationships and stuff, and our careers or finances. So there's this decision that must be made between practicality and between emotion. And I'm sensing this feeling of, well, things are working so great for me and I don't want to sacrifice that. There's this feeling of, I need to sacrifice, I need to choose, but I don't want to. Like, I want support. I'm doing this for you. There's also this feeling of, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for us. I'm trying to pursue my dreams so that we can be happy. We can be in love. And this other person's like, yeah, but there's something missing and I need to make a decision for myself. I need to find a way to love myself. Does that necessarily mean they have to leave you and be outside of the relationship? No. But it's basically saying the current circumstance that you're in needs to change. It's not working. And you need to figure out what's more important. Love, pleasure, or your success and dreams. So those are not fun things to have to decide between. But these are appearing to me. And the Justice card is also telling us that things have to be right. They have to make sense. They have to be right. They have to be just. You have to realize that everything has consequences, and whatever this person decides to do, there is going to be repercussions to that. Does this mean that's going to last forever? No. Okay, it probably doesn't. If this is a past relationship we're looking at, because like I said, this seems to be rooted in the past, this could be showing me what was going on to lead to this beautiful moment, to lead to November, okay? So this doesn't necessarily mean that this is happening right now. We're seeing the circumstances, and I'm sensing this need to pursue your love, to pursue emotions, but also having this wonderful opportunity tempting you away from that. And that can come in the form of somebody offering you a new job, somebody offering you a way to make more money, a way to provide, a way to feel more stability, a way to work on yourself, there's just something that is taking away, that's making you feel like, oh my God, will I have to choose? Will that person not support me? I don't know. There's something about this where you both are on different wavelengths. We all have wants and needs, and they're all very different. So I definitely want to look at what this means, because I'm sensing that there's kind of this out of touch feeling with your wants and needs and your desires. It almost looks like they're feeling like they want to do something impulsive. They want to make a decision. They want to do something really impulsive without actually weighing the options and acting on their feelings. So I'm seeing this person really wanting to shake things up, to do something brash. Is that the word, brash? To do something that may not make a lot of sense, just to kind of make a scene or make something happen. The Fool often has to do with innocence, but also taking a leap and doing things that are impulsive, not really thinking things through. You know, it represents our inner child. And sometimes the inner child just wants to lash out. It wants to just do stuff because it doesn't have the experience that it needs to really weigh things and be mature, right? So this is saying this person just wants to jump and they don't necessarily want to think about the repercussions. They don't want to just focus on this justice card. I'm seeing them really wanting to just do something. And often this can be used as a way to make you see what you're missing. Sometimes partners, when they're being immature, you may be somebody who also relates to this a little bit, they tend to do things that test the relationship, and that can feel petty. It can feel manipulative at times, but I'm seeing them being in a state where they just don't want to wait around. Like they might do something to test your patience or something impulsive. I'm seeing them wanting to do something impulsive, and it's something that they're really tempted to do. But I'm also seeing that what they need is to just focus on finding love for themselves. So I know I said that before, where sometimes when somebody is going through the Eight of Cups, they feel like they need love and they're relying so much on another person, and so they feel like something's missing. The Lovers is saying they need to just love themselves. They need to stop trying to show the other person things or trying to make that person see, because this person is in their own world. This person is going through their own thing. They're on their own path, and it's pointless to try to make them see what's going on. The Lovers is saying there needs to be a focus on self-love, on focusing on their passions, on stop trying to change this person. Often when people are in this situation, they really want to change their partner. They want to change their circumstances. And they've often, because they've stayed so long in it and let it get to this point where they haven't taken action. And so they just want to do something impulsive. They want to do something that makes the partner wake up, when really they also let it get to this point. They also didn't express themselves. They let things kind of be this way because they thought it would change, or because they thought their partner would change, or because they thought things would be different, or because they changed as people. So people always change. People are moving. And the question is, are you able to move and change and flow together? The Lovers also represents physical intimacy and sex. And so when we have the Fool and the Lovers, there's also this need to have sex. Like, one of the things that could be missing here is that you might feel like there's a lack of intimacy, a lack of sex. Maybe your sex life is not working. Maybe there was a dry spell. Maybe you're not feeling satisfied, or this person's not feeling satisfied, whoever it is. We have the Lovers that's saying, like, you need more spice, you need more drive and intensity and physical touch. It could be this person doing that, where they're not giving their physical touch. They're not touching that person the way they want to be touched, which can make them feel like not loved and that there's something missing. But this person also needs to act on that as well. So if you're struggling with low libido, or you're trying to search for reasons why things aren't working, I would look to this. I would look to trying to build more intimacy in the relationship. I'm seeing intimacy being a big deal, and it's something that perhaps is missing. I'm seeing the Eight of Cups perhaps happening because intimacy is a problem, or passion, or lust, or trying new things in the bedroom. This could definitely be a thing. And it makes a lot of sense, because the King of Pentacles isn't necessarily somebody who's super horny, okay? Like, yeah, they have their kinks, but they are somebody who is more of a family man, And by man, I'm not saying this person is necessarily a man. Like if you're a different gender or you don't identify with a gender, that's totally fine. The King of Pentacles in tarot really represents the ruler of the pentacles, of the practical world. Pentacles are very earthy, but this energy isn't fiery. This energy is grounded. This energy is practical. This energy is, I just want to build my home. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when somebody is, we often see these people, these guys especially, in their 40s or whenever their midlife crisis is, where they have to buy like a really cool sports car or buy a mansion or get really cool gadgets because it makes them feel like a boss. You know, like there's sort of this feeling of this person needs to surround themselves with the things that they're working towards. And that's not a bad thing, okay? This doesn't mean you're necessarily in a midlife crisis, but it does mean that there's this materialistic moment where sometimes we're at a point in our career where we're like, okay, like I want to move into a nice house, or I want to have this nice car, or I want to be able to provide for myself and find some financial security. And I just want to be in this place where I'm the king of my castle and I rule over my own domain, and I have these domestic, sometimes old-fashioned values. It depends. This person is saying like, I'm getting this opportunity where I can finally be this person. All my goals can finally pay off. And this person often has to make their goals happen in order, or they have to kind of achieve them. They have to follow their plans, okay? This person is doing everything they can to build their castle, build their world, build their empire. And I'm sensing that this is what they want. They just want to have that. They want to have their perfect world. This might be someone who's a perfectionist, someone who isn't really able to veer off the path, off script. Sometimes it's hard for them to think out of the box and accept that things are changing and things are new because they're so focused on surrounding themselves with everything that they work so hard to build. And so I'm seeing you being in this place where you just want to be happy and satisfied and surround yourself with whatever makes you feel content and happy. Be a provider, be secure, be safe, and feel like you have your place. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. And it does make a lot of sense for what you're going through. And so that's why it can be a struggle also to try to follow the 8 of Cups or follow your heart, follow the emotional side. There's often this old-fashioned thing that we have, especially with boomers or whatever, where there's this idea that we have to work hard so that we can provide for our family, so that we can follow our rules, so we can have strong values and just put in the work, and that it's going to work out for us if we do that. And it does a lot of the time. But if your partner is not feeling loved or not feeling intimate or having passion problems, like if there isn't passion and romance anymore because things are so comfortable, like I said, there was that comfortable vibe that I'm getting that used to be there, but there's this desire to be comfortable, to find that luxury, to, I don't know, there's a lot of different ways to be passionate, and sometimes it's just about being very comfortable with where you're at and having nice sheets, silken sheets or something like. And a lot of couples in the long term go through this, especially when they get married. There's this magical moment that happens where a lot of couples fall out of passion. They have this dry spell, and they feel like their partner feels like something is missing or something's not working. And it doesn't mean it's like that forever, but it's something you got to work on. And there's this need to persevere. It's right there. All the signs are there for you that you need to focus on your relationship, focus on love. But I'm just seeing this feeling of, yeah, but I am almost there. I'm finally getting these these things are finally coming together in my life. And why would I want to sacrifice that? And there's this feeling of being torn and feeling like you're afraid to make a decision between the two. Like, it's almost like something is making you feel like you have to decide between your love life and your security, which is interesting because that could just be in your head, you know? There's also the world. And the world is saying that while you want to be this secure person who has a home, and you want to build your empire, whatever that looks like, that could be being a digital nomad, okay? But this is telling me that you have this idea, these goals that you've been working towards, and you want them to happen the way you want them to happen. You might be very ambitious. You might finally be at a place where you're able to manifest everything you want. But the world is saying you need to let go of that path. You need to think outside the box and you need to explore, because what I'm seeing is this mindset you're in is very rigid. It's very like, it's keeping you narrow-minded almost. It's keeping you in this space of, I need to just be my own person and focus on building and being a family and, you know, focus on my responsibilities. That's a major message that I'm getting, is focusing on my responsibilities, focusing on what I need to take care of, what I need to do, not really stepping out and enjoying my life, you know? Sometimes we need a reminder to just enjoy, to travel, to explore, to expand. And the Eight of Cups is there because this person feels like there's no way they can expand within you. It's almost like you're creating this barrier around the relationship that's making them feel like they can't be themselves, or they want more, you know, and they want passion, they want love, they want intimacy, they want romance. And I'm seeing this kind of feeling of like, well, I can give you that, but I also want to be safe, and I'm finally in a place in my life where I have reached a maturity level and I don't necessarily want to be wild and run rampant, right? The king is somebody who's wants to complete their castle. They want to complete their collection. They want their goals to come true and to achieve everything and finally sit on their throne and say, wow, I made this, I did this. And the world is also somebody who comes full circle, but who doesn't necessarily have to do it a certain way. They just achieve what they want through experiencing and life and going through it. So basically this is saying you need to loosen up. You need to stop focusing so much on your goals, on your ambition, on getting carried away, because you're missing out on something beautiful and exploring growth and just growing with your partner. This is showing me that this is something that it makes a lot of sense, you know, for this person to want to feel love when you're so focused on this. Well, no, I have to work hard. I have to provide. I have to really support people. And often we think that we're supporting people because we have created this kind of state in our head or in our hearts where we are a rock. We are solid. We are somebody they can lean on. But we're not actually speaking their love language a lot of the time. This person's love language is more than acts of service. I'm seeing this person, perhaps physical intimacy is their love language, and they're not getting that from you. I'm seeing you maybe really like acts of service. I think you should really read that book, The 5 Languages of Love, because this is showing me that your relationship really needs that to be evaluated and worked on. Before I proceed, I actually want to pull a rune. I have this bag of runes and I want to kind of see what the connection is. Okay. Wow. Okay, so this rune, it resembles a lot the Death card in tarot because it's about things transforming. It's about rebirth. And what this is telling me is that this may feel like it's ending. It may have to end and then begin again as well. There's a very transformational moment in this relationship where you're sort of waking up and you're changing and growing. Like, the question is, are you going to rebirth together? That sounds kind of weird, but are you trying to start over together? This is saying also that this person might just want to start over. I'm also sensing this Scorpio energy. So you might feel like Scorpio, this person is a Scorpio. There's also some Venus energy. So Taurus and Libra, and also Sagittarius. And I'm getting Jupiter. So if you look at your chart, your natal chart or their natal chart, you can see where your Jupiter is. Mine is in Libra, or your Venus, sorry. And also looking at what houses they're in might really help you understand what areas of your life this relationship will be affecting. But yeah, so Scorpio, Taurus, Libra, and Sagittarius are all options for this. And I also am going to pull another rune. We have Uruz reversed. A lot of what's holding you back, it's almost like there's a huge mountain in between you and you have to see through it, or you have to climb it in order to get to each other. So what this is saying is that you might have to end things, or you might have to really change things or go through some kind of metamorphosis before you can be together and end up in a beautiful place. So this is saying that this might be, if you're single and you have broken up with someone because of something like this resonates with you. This is saying that that had to happen, and that there's a huge chance that you could get back together with that person. You know, whenever something ends like this, it makes way for something new, something exciting and new. The question is, like, it's really up to you how you do it and how you implement it. We also see with Uruz reverse that there is definitely more confirmation about the lack of libido or sexuality. I'm seeing that this can also mean lack of sex drive, because it's a major indicator of that as well. So I think passion is going to be so important, and really feeling like you need to better understand the situation. Okay, so let's see. We have the 5 of Cups. I'm going to look at some influences. The 3 of Wands. Wow. And the Star. And 10 of Pentacles. So let's start here. I think a major part of this person's journey is that they are going to have to feel like they have the freedom to cry and just grieve and let it all go before they can find their way. It's like they finally are realizing that they need to figure things out for themselves, and that there is hope for them, but they won't be able to see it fully until they're able to cry and let go of everything that isn't serving them. Like, 5 of Cups has to do with grief and loss. And this is telling me that this loss is exactly what you need in order to breathe and in order to see the situation clearly, and also to find each other again. Because there's also this trust that must be had of just knowing that everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out in a divine, beautiful way. And that there is light. Oh my God. Wow. I have a sore throat. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know how much longer I can do this. I'm losing my voice. Okay. So yeah. So I'm going to try to continue. There is like a path that this person is on, and they can't really see it until they cry. You know how sometimes when you have to cry, and it's only after you cry that you feel like so much lighter, so much better, because you have to process these feelings. It's similar when we have a breakup, and it's not until we've actually cried it through and really moved forward that we're able to contemplate the future and what we actually need. This is going to be also about being okay with where you're at. So the 10 of Pentacles is basically being at a place where you have manifested things, where things are finally financially secure and beautiful. And you also have to be aware that you might actually be the King of Pentacles already. And that you actually need to just kind of sit back and enjoy the fruits of your labor and just see things as they are. This is very reflective of the world and the King of Pentacles. We just have these two combinations that are so similar because the Three of Wands can often represent travel and needing to, travel and try a different path and just do your own thing. And the world is very similar in that sense as well, where we have the Ten of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. So I'm just sensing this need for you to actually just appreciate where you're at and realize you might actually have everything you need now. And you can just focus on your relationship and less on trying to achieve your goals, because it might be enough. It's okay to say enough. Sometimes when we're workaholics, we get very caught up in what we need to do that we don't realize that we actually can retire or just take a break. And this is what it's saying. It's take a break, enjoy your money, enjoy that security. If you're broke and you're watching this, it could just mean enjoy your resources, enjoy what you have, and appreciate that with your partner. And know that you might just have to say goodbye to say hello again. This is such a beautiful moment of realizing that you're no longer who you used to be together, and you have to change in order to be together, and you can totally do that. This is showing me this beautiful moment of where something new can just come out of all of this, I am also going to add a rune. Okay, so Ophelia is a very beautiful rune because it has to do with family and also things that we've inherited. And this is also saying perhaps you both need to focus more on your family and maybe even visiting your folks. I'm serious. This is saying there is something about your roots that's actually playing a huge part in this. And it also could be cultural as well. Sometimes when we grow up a certain way or we grow up with parents that act a certain way, we feel like our relationship is reflective of that dynamic. And this might mean that you should explore that. You might be seeing the fact that maybe the reason you're feeling this way is because you grew up with a parent who was very big on security or felt like they were ambitious or they were working all the time, or maybe they had this lack mentality where they weren't making enough and you didn't really see this kind of romantic relationship with your parents. This is just an example. So your roots are going to be a huge deal when it comes to figuring out why this is happening. And also for them, why do they feel like they need more from you? Why is it that intimacy is a problem? What can they gain from looking at their family and what they've inherited? And how are they like their family? How close are they to their family? Do they feel like you're abandoning them? Why is that? Just look at this and open yourselves up, Okay, we have the Queen of Wands. Sorry, it's kind of going off there. And the Eight of Swords. So what this is telling me, and I'm actually going to pull another rune as well. Okay, so this is such a beautiful sign because this is telling me that you both can be married, can be committed, can be so happy. It's not that you're unfaithful towards each other. In fact, I see that most of this is happening because you love each other. You just have your own ways of showing it. You both have your own ways of showing that you love each other. And Eight of Swords is reminding us that you might have to take a different path or think outside the box. It doesn't mean you can't have what you want, but it does mean that you have to think of a different way of getting it, a different solution, one where you aren't neglecting your lover or feeling like you can't give them what they need, and one where they just feel like they aren't overburdened by your need for security or You know, it seems like you both have different values as well, which can make things a little tricky, but you can make it work. Right now, you just can't see clearly because you're so stuck in this kind of mindset that you've created, this goal, this path. A lot of the time, when you're a perfectionist, you can't really think outside the box or improvise. You can't improvise. And that's something that's just saying you need to do. You need to improvise. You need to experience. You need to just take a break, get out of your bubble. The Queen of Wands is saying this person will come out of this feeling like they know exactly what they want. They know who they are. The Queen of Wands is fierce. She's passionate. She's caring, but she's a firecracker, and she knows what she wants. She knows what she is. She knows who she is, and she will do what she can to get it. Wands means action. Action takers, fire, sexiness. I'm seeing a sexy person, somebody that has finally come into themselves and is no longer feeling like things are not enough. And I'm seeing that you can have that together, but you have to stay faithful to each other, and you have to have faith in each other as well. And you also have to go the extra mile for each other. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go get some tea because I'm feeling like my throat is dying. So be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully I won't blow out my vocal cords this time. So we're going to focus now on the other relationship that might come into the picture. Remember that, of course, this is a general reading, so not everybody will experience multiple relationships this month. But these are different options that might come into the picture. And for some of you, it might be really helpful to know you might resonate more with one option and not resonate with the other. Like, it's really going to be for you to see. But I really want to look at this because I'm just sensing multiple energies, and I think it would be really helpful to have some idea of what that means. And hopefully I will be able to last through this entire thing without losing my voice. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle the cards again so we can get a really accurate reading for you, group number 3 in November, what this relationship is all about. Remember, every relationship is a journey, and so far, as we've seen, all of these relationships have been they're more complicated than we thought they were, because the energy that we had got, the reading overall, is very positive and beautiful. So finding out that there are these obstacles can be a little disconcerting, or it can be difficult to understand. But just know that the overall energy of this reading is very beautiful, very positive. And so whatever we get in these readings, these relationship spreads, they're going to be very minor compared to a lot of other things in your life. Like, this is going to be really easy to get through most of the time. All right, so let's take a look here. All right, so we have the Magician and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so the Magician is the whole package. The Magician is someone, when you date this person, you're like, I'm dating the whole package. Like, this is the person that I dream of being with because they have it all. They have everything. The Magician is somebody who has all the tools they need in their toolbox to do exactly what they want. They can do whatever they want in their life if they really use all their tools and they really face the fact that they have so much potential and so much awesomeness. And often when we're in a relationship, our partner sees it more in us than we see it in each other, like in ourselves, sorry. So I'm getting this sense that you are the Magician if you're this side. Remember, you could be either side, so you'll see what you relate to more. But out of habit, I will refer to you on this side. In this relationship, you are the one who pulls the strings. The Magician can be the puppet master in a way, which doesn't sound great, I know. But I'm sensing that in this situation, you really hold a lot of the power, a lot of the cards, and often that can be a little disconcerting for someone like the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is someone who is so verbal, like they're very mercurial. Actually, both of these cards are very mercurial. So there's a lot of Mercury energy going on, which could be Gemini, Virgo. But I'm just seeing this very mercurial kind of energy where this person is very good at speaking, good at communicating, and communication's a huge deal. I'm also sensing that this could be a very intellectual relationship. There's something deeply, intellectual. You both are very intelligent, meticulous people, and you really connect and bond through the art of conversation. This is probably someone you feel like you could hold a conversation with and talk to about anything, or you feel like they are somebody that is very good at being an advocate for themselves and good at speaking to you. I'm also just seeing they have a way with words, and that might actually be very sexy for you. So if you're into that kind of role play where you speak and talk in the bedroom, this might be your kind of thing as well. I'm just sensing that there's this deep attraction when it comes to you're kind of on the same wavelength a lot of the time. And meeting this person might actually be very surprising for you, especially if you're going through a time in your life where you're still adjusting and growing and you're not necessarily as mature yet. And so the Magician is also known to be a player, like somebody who doesn't necessarily want to commit to one thing because, like I said, they have a lot in their arsenal and they don't necessarily want to act on it or commit. They just kind of want to enjoy this moment of having it all. This is how we feel a lot of the time when we are just out of college and we just want to have fun and we have a lot going for us, and we feel good and we feel confident and we don't want to commit to a relationship. But the Queen of Swords is like, I want something. Like, I know that I deserve something. The Queen of Swords is hardcore. She's a badass. She wants something. And remember, this has nothing to do with gender. You could identify however. The Queen of Swords energy is just so potent and powerful and assertive. And she gets her way a lot of the time. She just knows how to get her way. She knows how to say things that when she's mad, she can get under your skin. She knows exactly what to say to get under your skin. When she wants something, she wants it. She will assert herself and get that thing. And it's not the same as the Queen of Wands, where the Queen of Wands is fiery. This queen is clever. She is just so smart. It's so attractive to you. There's just something about her that is so intense and beautiful, and she can be someone who is so beautiful and mature. Yeah, so I'm just sensing this beautiful relationship, but she is going to be the one to get you out of your shell. If this person comes along in your life, you are going to feel like this person is that push that you need to get into a relationship. The Five of Wands, yep, exactly. The Five of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. Exactly. The Queen of Swords is going to be someone who comes into your life and they are your good luck charm. There's somebody that is going to change things for you, change you. It's almost like they change your path. You're going one way and then they come in and they're like, nope, you're going this way. It's just they change your destiny. If you get the Wheel of Fortune with the Queen of Swords, this is someone you were meant to meet. This is a very powerful path that you were supposed to be on. And whether this works out or not, I don't know. But we know there's something beautiful based on the first energetic reading that we have. So the Queen of Swords here is going to be that catalyst, that person that just enters your life and that just makes you see who you are. They pull this veil back. They take the curtain off and they're like, hello, look at this. And it's also the fact that they can show you how fucked up you are. They can show you your flaws. They can show you things that make you uncomfortable. You're like, I don't want to talk about that, or I don't want people to see that. But they see it. They have this sense of where they know things, and you're like, how do you even know that about me? They just have this read about you. And they also know things like out of the blue. I'm just seeing this kind of psychic energy going on. This connection where when you are in a relationship with this person gets so close to you that sometimes you can read their thoughts. It's almost like you guys have telepathy. The Five of Wands is also showing me that, yes, you are kind of like the puppet master. I'm seeing you, and I know that sounds really fucked up, but I am seeing you as someone who you hold a lot of power, more than you realize. And I'm seeing you being somebody who pulls the strings in your life. Like, I see a lot of people, a lot of different components, right? I see people being the pawns on your game board. And I don't feel like you have bad intentions, but I do feel like you're at a stage in your life where you may be caught up in drama, where a lot of things are happening around you that are not really necessary. And the magician is so caught up in his creations and his games that sometimes he has trouble appreciating people like the Queen of Swords. So if this doesn't resonate with you as much, that's totally cool. Remember, this is just one reading. But I am sensing this control, okay? This need to be in control, this need to have control over the things in your life. And often we get into this place where we feel like we have to control things even if we have no control over them. So, for example, in relationships, we feel like we need to control or make the other person do things because we feel like we need control over something. Or this often happens with our health. We feel like we don't have control in our life, so we try to control our diet, our exercise. We try to do what we can to be like a lawmaker for ourselves. I hope that makes sense. So I'm sensing the Five of Wands being this card of lots of little things happening around you and you trying to get control of them. The Five of Wands is almost like petty arguments or squabbles, just things going on in your life. And you're supposed to have the whole package. You're supposed to have it together. The Queen of Swords may not see it right away. What happens in this kind of dynamic often, okay, is that the Queen of Swords falls for the magician because the magician is the whole package. They have it all. And then later on, they realize that, whoops, this person has a lot more going on in their personal life than they realized. Maybe they still have a lot of people that are not serving them or causing them some drama, and the Queen of Swords has to put up with that, or they are doing things that the Queen of Swords isn't necessarily cool with because she thought that this person was perfect or this person looked great. Or often this person has all these things to be who they want to be and be the best version of themselves, right? But they can't because they're so caught up in other things that they're not seeing that. And there's nothing the Queen of Swords can do. They can't make this person act a certain way. They can't control this person. This person is someone who has to realize their potential and act on it and get rid of all these voices, these things, these people, these events that are not serving them, that are just causing a lot of noise and getting in the way of spending time with the person they care about. Sometimes we need somebody in our life to just come in and just shake things up and show us what matters most. And I'm seeing this person having the power to do that, having the power to really show you what you're missing. You might feel like you've known love, but then you meet this person, you're like, whoa, this is intense. And this may not be the whirlwind romance that you thought you wanted, but it is somebody that you needed. Often we end up with a partner that isn't super fairy tale like, that doesn't meet all of our, checks on our list, that doesn't check off everything on our list, sorry. And so we often meet this person that is not who we thought we would be with. And that's what I'm getting. I'm getting this person is unexpected. In fact, there is an attraction, but I'm sensing that you may not even realize it. Like you may, it may be so, you're so surrounded by other things that you may actually not realize how powerful things could be. And so this often starts out in a way that's, I'm also sensing this kind of vibe of enemies to lovers. I know that's weird, but you may not get along with this person at first, or this person might just have kind of a back and forth with you, or they have this way of getting under your skin, or you meet them with other friends and you never really connect with them. But then later on you realize, wow, I actually am so turned on by this person. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting as well. So let's look at this. If you're like, no, I'm not a manipulative motherfucker, like I'm not this person that you're saying, I am just seeing this tendency to try to have your claws in a lot of different areas of your life because you know you're the shit. It's, I don't know. Okay, let's look further. Let's look. Ooh, the Hangman. So just like I did previously, I'm going to talk about the wants and needs of this relationship. Oh, fascinating. So this is an interesting placement. Let's put this here. Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups, the Five of Swords. We have the Hangman and the Tower. All right, let's start here. So the Five of Swords often happens when we are talking about arguing or fighting. And that's exactly what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I know that's a simplistic way of looking at it, but there is something telling me that this person wants to fight. Like they want to get what they have to say off their chest. I'm seeing them wanting to provoke something. It's interesting because it's not normally something that people want in a relationship. They don't want to just start fighting. But there's also the Queen of Swords is someone so verbal. You know, they are somebody that really needs to communicate and speak their mind. And with swords ruled by the mind, it's air, right? Mercury. This person has a lot to say. And I'm sensing that this person isn't just going to sit back and let you deal with all this stuff if they want to be with you. This is somebody who wants to be a part of your life, but is not going to put up with any petty shit, you know? They're in a place where they want to be with you and they want to show you who they are, and they don't want to be this way. And it's interesting because the Nine of Cups is the wish card, and this is saying that's exactly what they need to do. It's not just that they want to fight with you, it's that they actually need to fight with you. There needs to be some confrontation. This person isn't good at just sitting back and pretending like nothing is going on. And I know this sounds kind of negative, but remember, all of this isn't as terrible as it seems. And also, we don't know how things are going to play out. This is just about your wants and needs and kind of a snapshot of your situation. So I don't want you to just say, wow, these are really bad. This is just showing you that things are more complicated than they seem, and that there are some hurdles that you will have to navigate. You might also feel like this is a relationship that you've been in for a while, and these are things that have occurred or are occurring. You might find that this relationship is very confrontational, that you argue a lot, or that you butt heads a lot, and you have a lot to say to each other. That might really resonate with you as well. Or it could be like your ex, and this is somebody that you really had a lot of trouble with because they were fighting with you, So this is something very important, and we're going to see how it leads into this beautiful romance, all right? So we have the Hangman here. And when you get the Hangman in this position, it's like you want to resist change. It's like you want to resist obstacles and difficulties in your life. The thing is, sometimes we have to suffer. We have to get through some really dark times and difficult times in order to grow. And what happens nowadays in the spiritual community is we do a lot of spiritual bypassing, and we rely a lot on things like meditation. I'm not saying meditation is bad, but I don't think it solves everything. And often we use it as a way to disconnect from reality and disconnect from the things that we care about the most, that are causing us pain or fear or discomfort. And that's not what we need to use it for. So the Hangman in this position is telling me you are resisting suffering. It's almost like you know that if you want to figure all this noise out and extinguish that, and you want to deal with this person's impending confrontation, that you will have to suffer. I know that sucks, but you will have to deal with that, and you can't evade it by trying to navigate and get all spiritual. Meditate, sorry. Oh my God, my voice is like dying. And get all spiritual. You need to be able to confront these feelings and also just like let them go. Accept that things are not going to be beautiful. They're going to be ugly. Because you can't be with this person if you're like this. You just can't. This person is such a beautiful good luck charm in your life, and they don't want to put up with this. And remember, you could be more relating to this person as well. So you could feel like you're the Queen of Swords and you're this awesome person, and this other person has so much going on, and you just need to you don't want that anymore. You want to fight. You want to express yourself, express your anger. You want to be angry, and your feelings are so valid. They're so valid. So if you've been holding back and you feel like you relate to this, that's okay. You need to talk it out. You need to do that. So the Hangman, back to the Hangman, you might want to just deal with things by meditating and just chilling out. But what all that does is it drags out the drama. Do you understand? So it just makes things get better, but more slowly, because no matter what, the tower is going to happen, and you need to just let it happen. You need to let things crumble, and it's also about letting things change quickly. What the Hangman does is it allows you to process things and kind of go within yourself, but it doesn't allow you to do it quickly because you're basically putting things on hold. You're putting your physical reality on hold to hang, to deal with your attachments and stuff. And what this is also saying is that with the Magician, there's all these things that they have, right? This toolbox, and they can get very attached to those things. We see this a lot like with privilege, when somebody has a lot of things and then they're very dependent on those things, and they become dependent on their routines, on their knowledge, on their attachment. Sorry. Gotta cough it up. Okay. Yeah, so they are very attached to things around them and what they have, and they have a lot of things that they're juggling and dealing with. But what they really need to do to detach from these things is find a way to get rid of these attachments, like no longer feel like you need those things to be happy. And sometimes we like to distract ourselves with things just to deal. I don't know. But we have the Hangman that's telling us that, yeah, you know you want to just act like it's not happening, or you feel like you might be able to get through it by being the Hangman and by meditating and chilling. But this is not a time for that. This is a time for embracing just that destruction. And that destruction is probably going to come in the form of the Queen of Swords, which can make the Queen of Swords look really shitty, right? It can make them look really bad, because who wants to be around someone that is fighting with you and trying to explode at you or causing your life to explode? It can make them seem like the bad guy when really you're the bad guy, or you're the person who is holding on to all this stuff that you wouldn't have to let go of if you didn't have it, if you weren't so attached to it. And by things, I can mean people, I can mean events, I can mean like there's this part of you have so much potential, you're holding on to it, and that can be limiting when it comes to love, because it can mean that you have to learn how to let go of it and not be so dependent on it if you want to welcome something so beautiful in your life. This is just such a beautiful moment of growth, and I'm seeing this person needing to show some icky colors in order for you to feel like you can finally see the rainbow. I hope that makes sense. That doesn't make sense, but it's fine. I think you get it. So these are basically two different methods of purging, of letting things go. One of them is you dragging things out and going within, going on a spiritual retreat, or just trying to take up something new and acting like, oh, well, good things will come. You know, this is like a very common when we're going through, we see this a lot with the spiritual community, with light workers, or even social media, where we're just trying to try something new or go with it or meditate, and people can get very caught up in this spiritual bypassing when really we just need to confront our shit, and this person is trying to help you. I think that's what you need to know as well. This person's trying to help you, and you might feel like they're not, but they are, and they might not even know it, but they are. So let's look further into this. All right, we have the King of Wands. I'm going to look at some influences in this relationship. We have the Page of Swords, the Six of Cups, and we have the Nine of Swords. Bum, bum, bum. All right, so this is really telling about this person and what they're going through, because I'm seeing them feeling very obsessed with your life. Like, this is when you meet someone new and you're really into them, but you want to stalk them on Instagram or Facebook or whatever you're on. And it's not necessarily healthy. Like, you're allowed to have a crush on someone, but you can't stalk them. You know, like, you have a life to live. You got to go live it. And it's causing more stress. It's almost like this person's watching. They're waiting. They're watching how things are going to go. And it's causing them so much anxiety and turmoil. And I often see this kind of combination come up when someone's like, well, are they going to call me back? Or why haven't they texted me yet? You know, like, they're so caught up. Their world revolves around this person. And it's causing them so much anxiety and stress. And it's like, go take a walk. You know, put your phone down, detach. What this is also saying is that you should probably take a step away from electronics, from social media. This person is going through shit and they're not going to go anywhere. So this person needs to detach and disconnect from social media and their phone. Like, turn off your phone, go into nature and chill. Seriously. This is also telling me that, you know, with the Page of Swords, there's a lot of clarity coming through. And sometimes when you have so much clarity, the truth can be overwhelming and it can cause you to feel even more stressed out. And that's what this is telling me, that this person needs to focus on their mental health. And it doesn't mean that this is going to go away. And try to disconnect, from the world, and try to disconnect from trying to focus so much on this relationship, because a lot of the reasons that they might feel like they need to fight with them is because they're so focused on them. I hope that makes sense. Stalker energy or obsession energy, feeling like you have to know everything, feeling like you have so much you can say or lash out, but also stress coming from all of it. So I just believe this person needs to disconnect. So the Six of Cups and the King of Wands are very interesting as a combination because they're very different energies as well. We have the Six of Cups, which is memories and also your inner child. And then we have the King of Wands, which is somebody who's more established. It's a grown-up energy. And so you have this child energy and King of Wands energy. And so what I'm sensing is this person, if they are a father, this is going to be a very important time for them with their family. I'm also sensing that this could also be needing to heal through somebody coming in from your past. So I don't know about you, but I have experienced a reunion with someone who I thought was really good for me. I thought that they were my friend, and I realized that I was acting a lot like somebody I really didn't like because that is how I used to act around them. So this is sort of like somebody coming in from your past, and it's sort of making you realize that you don't want to be this person anymore. And that's the kind of vibe I'm getting here, is that you don't want to be this person. You don't want to exhibit the same behaviors because it's playing out in a way that's making you not as nice or not as nurturing. And it's holding you back from having something really beautiful with someone who just wants what's best for you. And you're causing a lot of anxiety for this person without realizing it. So the Six of Cups is also about exploring memories and going back to where it all began, going back to why you are the way you are. And often that means exploring our inner child and deciding whether we want to be the same person we were when we were younger. The King of Wands is saying this is the time to grow up and really appreciate what you have now, because the past is the past. And you can't focus so much on the past. And this Magician is just how you are perceived. It's how other people see you. It might be even how you see yourself. But it's going to be very difficult to see yourself now, to see yourself as the person you want to be when you don't take action. The King of Wands is someone who takes action. This could also be somebody coming in your life that you used to be friends with or that you've been friends with for a while. And you see their life and how much they've changed and how great their life is. Maybe you see that there's somebody who has finally achieved everything that they said that they were going to achieve, or they're living the dream. And you're like, wow, I really need to live the dream. I need to start being that person. I'm inspired. This person may even inspire you, but I'm sensing a need to compare somebody from your past with yourself. And this could be comparing your past self with yourself, but I am sensing somebody else in the picture, and I'm seeing it as somebody more established than you. So if you haven't met this person, I'm sensing they could be making a hello or showing up on your feed, and there's somebody that you really need to explore and ask yourself, why am I friends with this person? What do I like about this person? Why am I not like this person or how I plan to be? And how do I get out of this funk? How do I stop from just having this potential, having these tools, to actually using them and taking action in my life and going after this person that, yeah, they can be hot-headed and mean at times, but they also are like that because they are so focused, on you. So yeah, so I am guessing that is where we're going with this. Before I continue, I do want to add a rune or two to see kind of the connection between everything. All right, so we have Ansuz, which is the rune of communication and wisdom. And this is so fascinating because, like I said, these are very mercurial cards. And Ansuz is ruled by Mercury and communication. So expect some Virgo energy, Gemini, and Libra as well. You can also look at where your Mercury is on your natal chart and see. So mine is in Gemini, which makes a lot of sense if this reading were for me, of course. Also Venus. So we had Libra, but also Taurus. I'm sensing some Taurus. So there's Taurus, Gemini, Virgo, and Libra. And you can also look at where your Venus is on your chart and see if that helps you. So mine is in Aries, for example. And wherever these planets are, your Mercury and your Venus, those are areas of your life, the houses where you might find these things playing out. You might feel like you meet someone in that area. This Magician, and the Queen of Swords, they're so compatible because they just vibe really well, but there is a lot of conflict and confrontational energy that needs to be explored. The Empress. All right, see if I can, there we go. And the Two of Pentacles. Beautiful. You see, this is exactly what I was talking about. This is all coming full circle. We had this kind of chemistry, and then we had this need for conflict and confrontation so that you can work through things. This person learns to become more in tune with themselves and less focused on the relationship and their feelings and needing to disconnect from their, obsessions a little bit. And this person explores the past and any kind of comparisons that they are feeling and tries to take more action based on that. And now we have the Empress, which is such a nurturing and beautiful card. The Empress is a reminder that it's almost like a leveling up from the Magician, because you're going from this mercurial place of feeling like you have to really understand everything and make sense of things. And the Empress is just like vibing. They understand the flow of life already. They understand things come and go, and there's so much room for growth and abundance. And in a relationship, this can often represent marriage and commitment and finding a place in your heart for this person. Whereas this person may not have been able to open themselves up as much to this relationship. I'm seeing that changing, and it can head in such a beautiful direction where you both really take care of each other and nurture each other. This relationship is like your garden, and it's just blossoming. And I see these seeds that you were planting, they coming to fruition. I'm also sensing an energy of, if you're trying to have a family, this is the moment. Like, I'm seeing this person, the fertility is just radiating off of them. I'm seeing them as someone who is becoming the best version of themselves and is just so deeply caring. And it's almost like they're unrecognizable at times from when you first met them, if you're this other person, obviously. And also, the Empress is very grounding and very earthy. And so you might feel like this Mercury energy that's all over the place is much more grounded by the end. And I'm just seeing this blossoming and beautiful, and there's so much potential for growth and amazingness. And it's about taking these tools and using them in a way that is so healthy and amazing. And it's also about self-care and seeing your worth, you know, seeing what you are worth and that you're worthy. And the Two of Pentacles is very exciting as well, with the Pentacles also being an earthy energy. And we know that this person is going to bring a lot of balance into the relationship. They're going to find a way to balance their own selves and their own needs and their own mental health with the relationship, and not needing to be as assertive with it, you know, like not needing to be as trying so hard, I guess. Like you both have this ability to just manifest and attract each other. And I see them being like completing you in a sense as well, and balancing things. I'm seeing things being harmonious and just beautiful. And so all of this was so necessary for this to happen. And I don't want you to feel like it's doomed or anything like that. Like I said, there's this beautiful energy of love and family. And I'm just seeing you in the right state of mind. Obviously, you both have this journey you need to go through. And sometimes we just bring out these things in each other that we really can reflect on and use. I'm seeing, let's see, Dagaz, the daybreak rune. So whenever I get a rune like this, I know there's something very transformational happening. And that's exactly what this is. This is a moment where you guys are going to be able to level up, where you're going to be able to transform, where you're going to be able to be so incredible and happy and become better, you know, better yourselves. And sometimes that means you have to just go with it. And the Tower is saying like things are going to be changing fast, you know. And I'm also gonna look here. So this is telling me that there might be a moment with these two that you need to disconnect from each other. It might be about them taking time away from the phone, getting off the phone, getting off the internet, getting off social media, or at least trying to distance themselves a little from you in order for them to blossom and find balance, because sometimes that's exactly what we need. We can get so caught up with our feelings and our anger that we don't really know where it's all coming from anymore. In this case, I'm sensing that this person, they don't also need to interact with this person to deal with this part. You know, like these are separate from the rest of the relationship. I'm just seeing these as strong influences into what makes you better. And this person is definitely a catalyst and a helper, but I am sensing that this person is, this one, the magician person, is going to be going through some realizations that they, you know, didn't realize before about themselves, and through the past, through memories, and making some beautiful moments. And I'm also sensing that this isn't all for nothing. Like you have beautiful times together as well. I'm seeing that despite this, there's a reason you both are fighting, right? I'm seeing you both fighting for each other. And there's a reason for you not to give up on each other. With Rei, though, reversed, I also know that it's not the time to really go out of your way and seek each other. You know, we know that it's not the time to try to unite when this is going on. And I'm going to put one last rune down, and that is an amazing protective rune here. Love this rune because it is so beautiful. It's so protective, and it's often a very supportive energy. It's where you both support each other and you grow so much, and anything that seems rocky just kind of seems like part of the past. You know, you put it behind you because you hold each other up and you uplift each other. And it's also a very grounding energy where you feel like you can just be each other's rocks and hold each other. And it's just very important. And so, yeah, I am seeing all this happening, and I hope that was helpful. Yay, 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 yay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am so happy you tuned in if you stayed this long. I know that was a lot, but I appreciate you sticking around, and I hope that next time things will be a little more smooth. Please comment below and let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you, and I want to hear what your thoughts were. And yep. All right, time for some tea. Bye-bye.